shall begin. All right, there we go.
Alrighty. Well, hello everyone. Alright, so I am going to pull us over to my Theater of the Mind table.
I have
Ooh.
no visual of the table yet, but it's okay.
Right.
I'm in the theater of the mind.
Oh, I see. So we'll need Kyle to stream. Unless he is stepping away right now.
Oh, nope, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Cool.
I will say something when I have to step out.
Alrighty. So,
Mess with this guy.
just make sure I don't have anything showing that shouldn't be.
Cool. Weird spot. Interesting.
And I will fetch all players. So this should pull you over to a different board, where right now you'll see some water. And I'm going to apply, whoops, that's the nighttime. This is the daytime. Alrighty.
Okay.
Are we all set?
I'm set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent. Then we will begin here. Okay, so last time we played, you all made your way into Warden's Charge, learning about Warden's Charge from the chatty wall guard named Nesla. She escorted you to meet Sirkin, the council clerk, and Councilman Silro, who was on call that evening. Silro gave you rooms at his upscale lounge and inn of sorts. You got a good night's rest and awoke with some new but old memories of who you were before or what you did. Also, memories of our cooperative memory, the Plague Council led by Belrond, where you were all tasked to stop an undead dragon who was spreading a plague. Your intent, at Belron's suggestion, was to retrieve a scale of Bahamut, using it to resurrect the dragon, making it living and vulnerable to being slain again. You have no way of knowing how long ago that was, but you know the group here now was a small fraction of the group that you saw in that council. Waking the following morning, you all enjoyed a good brunch and returned to the palace to meet Councilman Silro. You briefly met the commander of the expedition, Tenla, who had been speaking with Silro at the time, and then had quickly exited. Silro offered a job to help you guys get on your feet. This job was to retrieve a magic item from an unsolved puzzle in the catacombs below the palace. The catacombs being a resetting labyrinth of traps, monsters, and treasures. In order to gain access to the catacombs, you'll need to join the expedition and speak to Tenla again. You first need to equip yourselves. Suro offered to give you a tour to guide you to some shops, and asked that you do some shopping, or I asked that you do some shopping between sessions with the gold that you received up front from that. Beyond the general availability, there are some magic items at various shops as well, and we'll get into that in a sec. But if there are any shops that you do want to develop more of a rapport with, you're welcome to ask for RP interactions with those specific stores, and we'll probably do that for magic items if you're going to a specific place trying to acquire those. But to start us off, Silro is also, he was starting to guide you through the city, and he'll start a conversation at the onset of your tour. He'll say, "I'm sure you have many questions. Ask what you wish. I will tell you what I can, but I don't know everything. But let me start with a question of my own. Last night you said you saw a dragon. I did not press the issue as it was late and there was obviously no present danger. I would like to know, what is it that you saw?" we're trying to monitor Uxen's advances. So if you saw her in person, that could be some valuable information to us.
Big dragon. Had scales, wings, big claws, big old mouth. A big dragon.
Wasn't it magic too? It was like a ghost.
I don't remember that. I
What
remember it was
color?
real big.
Wait, am I thinking of the ghost that guy turned into?
I think you. I think you are.
Mhm.
I can't. No, like gold, red. What was it?
I don't remember the color, actually. Yeah,
Gold or red? One of those colors.
I know it was a young. We saw a young one, right?
Wait, was it blue?
So-
No, now I can't remember. I'm all mixed up.
Well, was it black?
Sure.
Can I roll to see if I remember if it was black or not?
Sure.
Let me
If
roll
anybody
for
wants
that.
to like try to remember character memories,
Nah,
feel free.
No roll.
I can't remember.
Sure. I'll see if I can remember what color it was. It
It was
almost killed
scary,
me.
man. Yeah, I can't remember.
I faced it
the
down, so.
I'll just roll. I'll roll an intelligence check.
I was getting out of here.
History.
Oh, you can roll history. Okay.
18.
Oh, I am not in the campaign, so I'm not seeing the rolls. Hold on a sec.
I'd bring up the rolls for stream if it wouldn't be pretty much from a web page and just constantly not actually focus.
Right.
And there's no stagnant place for rolls.
Why
Okay.
isn't it not rolling?
So I've got a roll from you. It looks like you got a 4 here.
Oh well, never mind then. I don't remember anything.
And then, or I guess your first roll is a 10. And then Helmer, you got a 13, it looks like.
Sorry, it wouldn't register that I had rolled, so I didn't know if it was.
So you remember the thing that you were fighting outside of the temple wasn't a dragon itself. There was a dragon that seemed to be summoned to chase it off.
Other way around. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you remember the weird screeching like pseudopod monster.
No idea.
Yeah. It was
outside.
whipping vines around. Yep. You're right. You're right.
That's what you directly face down, right? So that you'd have that imprint pretty
Yeah.
well in your head.
And then our wizard buddy summoned a dragon to fight it. Yeah.
Right.
And then it left. Yeah. Okay.
So what was it you saw?
We didn't fight a dragon. It was some sort of thing with arms, tentacles of some kind. It was a dragon brought in. Perhaps, right.
You said the dragon was brought in, though.
Our wizard friend summoned him.
It must be powerful magic. Is one of you?
No. He's gone.
If you don't mind me asking, who was that? Did you get his name?
He gave us his name. I don't remember his name. Do you have his name?
Yeah, his name was Quesh.
Quesh, that's right. There's a wizard named Quesh.
Ah, so I was not the first of the council to welcome you.
Well,
Oh, this. Well, he's
unfortunately,
dead. He's dead.
he will not be joining us.
He's dead. You must be mistaken. He is a powerful wizard. He can get out of most anything. Tell me what you saw that makes you think he's dead.
Well, I saw him turned into a ghost.
we happened upon a relic of some kind. And he touched it. And that's all it took.
Turned into a ghost.
It was nasty specter. Yes.
Could that have been an illusion, or
He attacked us.
He could have been the ghost all along.
I thought that too.
If it were an illusion, it was very painful.
What do you mean painful?
Ugh. We would have been slaughtered if we didn't have these, or what they were.
The glyphs. I see. I knew Quest was gone from that city for a time. Said he was leaving on research. Well, first off, I guess thank you for letting me know.
We got an expedition to do here, right? That's what we're doing.
Yes.
You got any more questions for us, or are we ready to go?
I can continue giving you a tour. If this is true, there's some implications that I will have to deal with.
Hopefully they don't involve us.
They do not have to.
Good.
Although Femwith, she is, well, was Quest's apprentice. She will likely wish to speak to you about his death. If
Anybody want to come and ask what happened to the wizard? I just tell him he poofed into a ghost.
yes,
That's really all we have to say about it.
That's about it.
I will tell her.
Yeah, that
then
sounds more appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better from a
be
friend
some-
or
We're
acquaintance.
new here. Yeah. No.
Right.
She ain't gonna believe it. She's gonna attack us more than anything.
She
I'd like
may
to see her
speak
try.
you out.
Those statues will take her out.
Yeah, pretty safe here.
I mean, that's true. I'm talking more about grief, you know.
She may seek you out for more details, but
I'll give her just about that amount of detail, so hopefully that's enough.
okay. Well, we can get on with our tour here. I will,
Yeah, where do I buy stuff?
This is before, right?
This is all happening like while he's starting to
while
walk.
he's touring us.
Yeah.
Walk and talk. Walk
Yep.
and talk.
Yep. Up this way. So he'll lead you to an offshoot down a road that has a couple of like wide open city blocks in kind of like an L shape. Down one way, you'll see a number of market stalls that look like just small tables with like the poles sticking up and canvas over top.
Doesn't matter where
You
go,
can
those
smell
always
that
look the
this.
same.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I said, doesn't matter where you go, those always look the same.
They are scattered with many different kinds of goods. This market specifically is more food based than anything. There are a number of different food stalls, so you smell lots of spices and like cooked foods going on around there, breads, and you do notice there's an awful lot of mushrooms throughout all of these different kinds
I like
all
mushrooms.
over.
This is normal for me.
And as you're working your way through, just looking over that, you see like this entire area is also surrounded by stone buildings, and those are also shop fronts. But they're the kind of more upscale shops that you would go inside and they'd have their wares there. There you see like tailors and general goods and an apothecary, a couple of different areas there. If you took any time to look at the map that I handed out, this is where you'll find the Mortars Mix Apothecary and Dorina's Stock, which is a general goods store. You'll also see down the other side of the L, and Silver will kind of give you an overview and will say, this is the market, and down this way we have what we call the Forge Works. This is where most of the blacksmithing or industrial processing type of things happen. And down that way you'll find you'll see a sign off of the side of a building that says the Anvil's Song, and you can hear active blacksmith noises of hammer striking anvil and the I am losing the word for the
It's blacksmith.
thing that rushes air into the actual forge. But
I see it all. Don't worry.
yeah. You'll kind of hear that coming from that way, and yeah, that's where you'll be able to get kind of the blacksmith sides of things. If you would like to do some shopping, feel
I'm
free.
gone. I'm already in
Bellows.
Bellows, thank you.
Yep.
That was gonna bother me.
It was bothering me too. I was like, what? Now I can't think of it.
So at this point, you'd be able to go through, and this is where you can purchase your supplies. So if you've already done that, that's great.
General store.
Are there any of these that anybody would like to specifically visit?
Wherever I get armor, wherever I get weapons, wherever I get general goods, I pack all that in. Real simple like.
Okay.
General goods wouldn't be like potions and stuff, right? That's more like
That would be the
tools
specific.
and apothecary is what we're waiting for. Okay, so
Yep. General goods would have more of like your explorer's
Probably some
kits,
stalls out
traveling goods. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of my shopping episode off screen.
All good.
Mine's also done. Yep.
Done.
Now, are there any of the magic items that I showed that anybody would like to purchase? Because
Not have
they're
the money for that.
Can I
currently
steal the?
limited to one.
Can I steal the amulet of health?
I give him advantage.
You would note that that
Watch
is
me die.
in Oasis, so that's Suro's place of employ. So that would be in a different part of the city, so not here.
Go steal it.
You get a feeling that the night before, when you stayed there, there were a number of like pedestals that had kind of lockboxes on top that were display cases.
Sounds stealable.
You get a feeling those are the magic items that you can purchase.
Lock's
Oh,
gotta
man.
have a key.
Oh man, well I sleep in there, so I don't really feel like making bad blood where I sleep.
I mean,
Don't
don't
shit
step
where you
down
sleep.
my statue.
Yeah, I don't shit where I don't really sleep. I'm more like recharge in a inactive state.
I think you get what he means.
The only two I got my eyeballs on is potion of healing and whatever the fuck the orb of time is, because that seems interesting.
Where are you getting this money? Oh yeah, you're a barbarian. All right.
So, potion of healing you would find at the Mortars Mix Apothecary,
I'm expensive.
along with the potion of greater healing. Those you can also purchase if you'd like to.
Can't afford a greater, but I will be grabbing the normal, if that's
Okay.
cool.
That's cool. So the way I am running this,
Mhm.
they also have like these shops will have stocks that will rotate over time. So
Gotcha.
it would be good for you guys to check back every once in a while to kind of look into that. All right, so you picked up potion of healing,
Yep, that's 30 gold, right? Or is it 50?
50.
It's 50, yeah.
Orb of Time. Any of these are, I think you can easily find in D&D Beyond because that is how my random number generator works. So,
Nice.
if you're going in and inquiring about the Orb of Time, the description of this is while holding that, you can use an action to determine whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or nighttime outside. and it only functions on the material plane, so it's more of a clock than other things. But
Let's do it. Sure. What is it?
All
It's
right.
20, right?
it is 20.
Yeah, I'll swing in and we'll grab one of those for sure. So,
Alrighty.
it'll be fun to keep on us, eh?
Yeah. Alrighty. Is there anything else shopping-wise that anybody needs to ask about?
Just those few.
There's
Like a
like,
whole-
there's like a church or something. I need like a holy
In-
symbol.
That
Doesn't
will
matter
be
what
the next
God-
Alex!
I'm on vacation and forgot it was on Monday.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, good.
Vacation brain.
Diving in here, you didn't miss too much. We've just done some of the in-between shopping, including some of the magic items that are around. So you are welcome to pick that up.
I see it on
while
the.
we're on there. So Cool.
See, you mentioned not caring what holy symbols. So now I'm just imagining like a corner of Goodwill. There's a bargain bin of holy symbols. You just
Yeah.
reach in and pull one out. It's like,
don't
ah,
know.
Dead clerics. They just found them.
It doesn't
Toss them in a
matter.
bin.
It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just gonna graft it to my shield.
yeah. I mean, there's lots of dead clerics. I mean, they
Listen,
all have their own holy symbols.
all the gods work. All right. Doesn't really matter what they do. It's like putting a different plug in your electrical outlet. It's all the same.
What the hell are you
Right.
talking about?
Um,
That's not how religion works at all.
Well, obviously you're not Durgar, so works
Getting
different.
lectured on religion by a tin man.
It's very true.
now, is that something that you definitely want to go to a place of worship for, right?
I mean, I just need to be a holy symbol of an active god, you know.
Okay. All right. So the next place on the tour is actually the Temple of the Sun.
Sun's a great
And-
god.
Yep. So Silro will walk you up to that area and point out the temple. It's quite large, very ornate. It looks like it's been built on top of the existing things,
Right.
or the existing stonework, similar to how the palace was structured. And you're saying you want to go inside there? to
I mean, do I have
look
to? Maybe I can pull one off of like a statue.
Can't escape that.
If it's inside,
Nope.
I'll go in.
Yeah, it's easy enough to
Get
like
in there.
enter there, and like the doors are open. Inside the temple itself, you see the regular church-like setup with rows of pews, as well as there's a couple of offshoot hallways, one of which you can kind of see down has many kind of rooms there. And you see some people that look a little bit more impoverished coming in and out of that area, so it looks like they might provide some housing for those that can't really afford to stay anywhere.
I'm just passing.
Within that temple, there are two kind of primary figures, and Silro will point them out if you're headed inside. There is the lead cleric.
Him. I go to him.
It is actually her. She is elven in features. Her name is Rena. She'll be dressed in kind of flowing white robes and carrying around kind of a holy book, and you can see a couple of other vestments around.
Yeah, Kurt looks uncomfortable. He wants this to go quickly, and it's not. So he's like, he's got to like find like a certain person. He's like,
If y'all else have something else to do, I just need to find somebody who's gonna give me a piece of metal.
So you approach her.
Yeah, I just ask her politely if I can maybe partake in a religious symbol of the god, something that she gives out to people.
I'm gonna do this.
I'm happy
just
to
'cause I
put a
have one of
donation
these.
in. Oh, we don't need it. No, we don't need a map. This doesn't need to be a thing.
This is just an internal thing that I have for this, which you won't be able to see unless I throw.
I'm sorry, guys. I just thought it was gonna be in and
Yeah,
out.
here we go.
Who cares? Roleplay the shit out of it. We're playing a role-playing game.
Just a piece of metal. I just want a metal piece.
So what'd you say when you were approaching her? Sorry.
Oh, you want me? Good evening. I am. Good day, whatever day time it is. I do not know what kind of god you worship here. I am recent Skyfallen Kurt Hammer. I'm a cleric, and I have clerical powers. But I need a god to channel them through. You have a god, seems here, nice and shiny. You got a symbol that I could use? I'm willing to donate.
Well, quite an introduction. My
Here it
name's
is.
Rena, Refira, and you are welcome to take this holy symbol. She'll kind of walk over to
You are
an area
absolute
that has a couple of
darling.
leaves.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. She says,
Are we with Kurt at all?
I told
If
you to
you
go
want
if you
me.
want to go, but if you're here, he's just gonna be that much more embarrassed.
This is already out of character, so I just want to make sure that I'm here to witness this. So.
It's fine.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Oh, no, can you tell me what the name of the god is? I just know what that is. What's the name of this god?
This is the Temple of the Sun. We worship
I
Sunaman.
love the sun. What is just the sun good?
Sure, go for it.
Durgar worshiping the sun will be the first time this has ever happened. Perfect. And I put my shield down, and I take my hammer up, and I put it in front, and I just boom, right into the front of the thing. Can I use my it says I have to use it at the end of a long rest. Can I Blessing of the Forge my shield? It says it has to be at the end of a long rest, but I haven't gotten to use it yet. Where I plus one.
Yeah,
Plus
feel
one
free.
shield. I just put it right into there.
Okay.
And I go, I'm done. I'm all done. I'm worshiping the sun. Let's go.
Glad to have spread unto another follower, I guess.
What was their actual name so I can write it down, even though my boy did not?
Rena Refira.
Rena Referia. What's the sun god name?
Sunaman.
Sunaman. Okay, I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you for that. That was fun.
No problem. Is anybody else? Hold on, I gotta show this and pull your token off of there. Really quick.
So, of the regular accoutrement, can I pick up some more clandestine items? Like, I don't know how the city operates, but would one be able to get a hold of, say, a poisoner's kit and also accompanying materials?
Asking around at the apothecary, yeah, you probably could. They're not completely banned. It's very kind of free market-y here in the city, so it's up to individual shop contributors whether they wish to carry such things, and the current apothecary does.
Awesome. So yeah, I will buy those things.
Alright.
Free market. What stage of capitalism is this place in?
I don't know the different stages myself, so I can't answer that question.
Okay, sure. Talking early or late stages?
Probably be very early.
So it's still exciting then.
yeah.
Right. You can buy a poisoner's kit
There's
off
still
the
competition
street, so,
around. Yeah.
Yeah. What stage of capitalism is it? Where 5 people can make a poisoner's kit, or really just one?
Really, just one that owns 5 other people.
They're all just shell corporations.
So upon kind kind of exiting the temple and everything, Silro will also kind of give you a bit more information about the forge works and the temple are both also members of the council, essentially. So one of their leaders will be an acting member of the council, including for the archive that would have been Quesh, but you'll get to the archive later. I'm losing my notes. There we go. All right. So
Am I
the
able
next.
to find? Oh, sorry. Am
Oh,
I able
go for
to
it.
find assorted herbs?
Oh, for sure. The
Okay.
general market is full of different foods and spices, and there would be herbs there, flowers, like all that kind of stuff. So, whatever you need there. The next stop that Sura will take you on this tour is another more traditional tavern and inn. This place is called the Hapless Hydra. You can hear kind of the sound of daytime tavern. It's kind of midday-ish, so there are people coming in and out, patrons for lunch, that kind of thing, because they serve food, as well as you hear a little bit of music coming from the inside of the tavern as well. So this is kind of a more mid-scale place. You may not be able to afford to stay at Oasis. I've let you stay for one night, but from this point on, you will be on your own. This place is another slightly cheaper, but not as nice of rooms. You are always welcome back to Oasis, but the fees there are a little bit steeper. Mechanically, if you're living at there's the different tiers of how you're living in town, right? If you're at the very top end of that, you'll be staying at Oasis,
I'm going
and
low
then
end.
you're going down.
I might stay in this church.
Yep, and that would be the very lowest level. Yep.
Is it free? I'll take free.
I mean, if it's free, I'm gonna be in the church.
It's still gonna be the same. I'm not gonna go night by night. It's gonna be more with the downtime activity type thing, right? Where it's if you're staying there for a week or whatever, it'll be a certain amount of gold or silver or whatever it is. I forget the exact rules, but we'll get there when we get there. So he'll show you the Hapless Hydra, and then he'll start walking you. Continue they're going counterclockwise around the city. So he'll point out near the wall and near the entrance that you actually came in the previous night, there's an enforcer kind of headquarters nearby. And the enforcers, Nesla was one of them. They're the ones that have been walking around the city with the kind of armor with the insignia on the front that you've noticed a couple of times.
I asked him if he's got any dwarf homes. Dwarf areas.
Dwarven homes.
Any place where dwarves have gathered.
Not. I wouldn't say many people have gathered in that way. There are dwarves among the city,
perhaps.
but there are a few places around. In between some of these districts that he's taking you to, there are housing districts.
I take a
and
note
he-
of them. I take a note of them because I have a feat that'll give me free room and board at somebody's house. So
Yeah. So, yeah, there might be a couple of families around there that you could definitely check in with and make some relations with. The other thing that he'll note, if you are bringing that up, let's say there's also the housing around here. You all could purchase some. There are many of these buildings are actually vacant because the city was here before we started inhabiting it. So most of the ones that are unused are vacant for purchase. The next place that he'll take you is actually outside of the opposite gate to the one that you came into. You'll walk through the gate, a similar kind of T-shaped bridge. He'll take you off one side for a little bit, and you can kind of see from almost the gate. These are the Spires of Thon. Many come here for meditation, sometimes agility training. And what you'll see is inside the river itself, there are spires sticking up out of the ground, and they're of varying sizes. There are some that are just very sharp looking stalagmites to some that are larger rocks, large enough to sit on. And you do see a few people out there jumping from one rock to the other, or there's a couple of them that are kind of sitting there in a meditative pose, just watching the kind of water rush by in the river. Beyond that, the next place that he'll bring you by is the archive. This is the archive. This is where our mages and historians and librarians all are purveyors. They keep some histories and information here. This is where I would suggest, if you need to do research of any sort, come speak to them. You'll also find Femwith that I mentioned earlier. She will be here if she summons to. This will be the place.
Sounds
and,
good.
That, and I guess Fort Spirit is the last place, but I'm not going to walk you all the way there. That is far outside the city to the north, Peakward.
That sounds great. Take us there.
that includes a kind of arena. Being outside the city, the wardens do not interfere with friendly competition. Duelists are common out there, and that's also where most of our farmers are located. We need to protect them from some of the dreadwood creatures that you yourself ran into, so they tend to stay within the walls of the fort. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave you. I have some business to attend to inside the archive. I should speak to Femwith and return to my duties at the council chambers.
Thank you for the tour.
Yes. Always happy to show some new faces around.
Really appreciate you, Silver. It's really nice of you.
Again, I look forward to seeing what you bring me from this expedition.
You got a friend in Kurt Hammer. Don't worry about that.
Well, good luck down there, and give my regards to Tenla.
Oh, yeah.
With that, he'll start making his way into the archive and leave you all to your own devices in the streets of Orange Charge.
I'm gonna buy all my stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it make a day of it.
Yeah, I'll be buying all the gear I need and then eagerly making my way to... Where, the entrance of this dungeon was at the council building, correct?
Yeah, you go in the council building. Thenla's back there with the expedition, so I'm just assuming we sign on some dotted line back there.
Yeah, so underneath the palace itself.
I'll be waiting there.
Wanted to clarify, people are talking about feats already. Did we start level 3?
No. Certain people are humans, so
okay.
they get feet.
That's right. Very human. Right. Cool.
Yep.
Just making sure. I was like, shit, did I forget something? Okay, well, that's a lot more HP I could have right now.
I am totally, for
completely character reasons, getting the chest of preserving.
Okay, you want to purchase that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for the magic items, just give me a heads up because they're limited in this city. There's only like one of each thing going on, so
Okay.
I am trying to keep track of the stock there.
Gotta go dig up more.
Alrighty.
Yes.
So purchase the chest of preserving. Excellent.
I am an urchin after I escaped from there, so I don't like not having food. So I'm proficient in cooking utensils and have a chest of preserving.
There you go.
Good party needs a good chef.
And the chest of preserving, you should be able to just look it up and beyond and add it to your character sheet. All of the magic items should be straight from there. So cool. Excellent.
So now I have a backpack attached to a chest and about 5 spears sticking out from the top.
All on a kobold.
That's for cooking. That's for cooking, right? The spears, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely cooking only.
Alrighty. So
I'm
it sounds like
under
we're
my
all...
800 weight, so we're good.
So it sounds like we're heading towards the palace then.
I mean, yeah, that's where I go after a buyer thing.
The
I
dead?
assume everyone's coming to the same place.
So that's where I'll be.
Where I'll be.
Alright, so is there anything else in the city before we go in there?
I think we're good.
I don't hear any protests.
All right, Dustin?
He just messaged me he'd be right back, so...
Gotcha.
He might have.
So he's been quiet. So.
He likes stealing magic items.
I think I'm gonna spend just a generic amount of gold on random food to fill the chest with.
Just pack it full of rations. Who knows what's in there?
You're free to do
This
that.
is dried
if
meat.
you like
Garbage.
in going around the market, you're able to find tons of different types of food, and if you want to write them down as rations, so just so that you know as much as you want there, but you'd be able to get any types of things.
Yeah,
I
use
did mention
rations as my base for cost.
Yeah, sounds good. Yep, that seems pretty simple, and since you have the chest of preserving, you won't have to worry about like spoilage on any of the things, so you can get whatever you want type of thing. You'll notice there are a ton of different types of mushrooms, and that tends to be one of the primary foods that is grown within the city itself. So,
Ew. Earthy.
Amen. Underdark. That's all we had to eat.
Yes, and that's why everyone who lives under the earth is so damn grumpy.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, mushrooms up north.
Mushrooms are good, man.
Half the food is mushrooms and the other half is poisonous.
Hey, some of the when you're a dwarf, it don't matter what they are.
I'm gonna pull you all to
A grid.
palace.
Oh, there
Ooh.
Oops, that is the nighttime one. Did not mean to do that. We will take it back to day. Okay. But, in coming back to the palace, Silro had mentioned previously how to get here, which was underneath the side entrances or the rear entrance. There are tunnels there that will take you underneath the palace. So looking into any one of those, you will see the area underneath, which I will pull you to as well. I can pull you specifically here, I believe. Oh, that only brings you to the board, huh? Interesting. So, like, I hit fetch, and it didn't actually move you around. So what I'm gonna do...
Oh, you mean like the minis? Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't pull
It's
your
my
camera to where I'm set
It
up
did.
here.
I just had to zoom in way in.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
had to
see it
zoom
on
way far in.
Kyle's. I'm throwing tokens down.
I like how if I zoom, the roof falls away like it's supposed to.
Yeah, so the
really
green
nice.
thing is the level of the roof that you take down.
Right. Well, it automatically seems to know if I'm zoomed all the way out or not, which is handy. So
Right. Alrighty. So you enter a dimly lit stone room. Once large, the space is now more cramped, as half the room has been divided with wooden walls stretching from the stone walls on the outside to stone pillars that had originally gone across the center of the room. They leave a hallway up the center with what looks to be guards in enforcer uniforms on either end. One nods to you as you enter. The other side is left open and appears to be a kind of common area with a number of capable-looking folks sitting around tables and chairs, chatting or playing cards. At the center, there's a table with crudely drawn maps and hastily scrawled ledgers in front of another corridor that looks to be a set of stairs leading further downward. You see Tenla, who you met earlier, pacing in front of that hallway, lost in thought. She's distracted. She doesn't notice you originally entering. So this is her down here.
We're here to go plunder the depths, look for something to bring back for the council.
Oh, yes. You're the new Skyfallen group. I apologize for my hasty retreat earlier. I am trying to deal with a situation. Did Suro fill you in?
Roughly.
She's kind of looking over the table. She'll say, I hate not being able to do anything, but that's not why you're here. And I have as much duty to you as to them. So this, welcome, this is the Expedition HQ. I don't know what Suro told you, and frankly it'd be worth repeating anyway, so, down those stairs, she gestures behind, and through the gate is the catacombs. They are kind of labyrinth with multiple floors of traps, monsters, and treasures that, as far as we can tell, get more dangerous and more valuable the further you go down. It changes every 10 days or so at midnight on the last day. It's important to know that anyone left inside at the end of the week, we've never heard from any of them again. Upon entering the catacombs, the catacombs seem to place a glyph similar to the ones that you recently had on your hand, but it's just a timer for when that iteration will roll over, so you will have at least a bit of a time awareness down there. We run expeditions into the catacombs because they tend to have money, resources, and magic items in them that are useful to the city. We manage who goes in and out so that we can pull people out safely if they need it, and if possible, document and research what these things are. Any team going in is expected to give a full report of findings, mark the progress while in the catacombs using Explorer's Script, as well as keeping a rough map of new areas, if any are found. she hands you a sheet of paper and says, "Here's a guide to Explorer's Grit that I mentioned." And I am actually going to link this in Discord. There we go. We also provide the use of storage lockups that are under guard by the enforcers. She gestures to the other side of the room that you saw earlier. Those are there to allow teams to store gear or valuables that they don't want to take with them into the catacombs. Now, to run all this, we do need to pay our people, so the expedition does take a 10% cut of anything that's brought out. We have an appraiser on staff, and he will immediately settle, or appraise, and will immediately settle that cut upon exit of the catacombs. If you're caught trying to sneak anything by us, you forfeit that haul and receive a strike. 3 strikes and you're banned from the expedition. Do you have any questions so far?
Seems like some pretty standard rules.
Hopefully.
I don't like that we can't keep the things that we find.
Oh, you're perfectly able to keep them. We just take our 10% cut. So if you're able to pay, the 10% of that appraisal cost, you can keep the items. We just document what's coming in and out.
Still my 10%.
So wait a minute, let me just clarify. I come out of there with a big, old magic rock. How you take 10% of my magic rock?
That's what the appraisal system is for.
Right.
So we have our appraiser take a look.
I pay you or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're not completely unreasonable. If you wish to keep the item, we can also start a kind of credit system for you to pay back if you don't have the money on hand.
As long as 10%, that's a pretty good deal.
When do we have to pay back our credit?
It's best to come to that when we get there. But upon
How many
exit,
APR
normally,
do I get on this loan?
in general, we try not to enter too much into the credit system. It's more of when you exit, we'll take the 10% then, and then you can go on. If all that sounds okay and you want to proceed, you'll need to sign this contract, which says you're agreeing to all the things I just told you. And she'll lay out contracts for each of you that had been prepared ahead of time.
Looking at this contract, looking it over.
Okay. How in depth do you want to go? So this is like a multi-page.
I'm a Durgar man. All right. I've been handed a contract before for work that I have done. I read my contracts, top to bottom.
Alrighty. Top to bottom. So this will take a little bit of time. It's probably going to take you 15-20 minutes.
Kurt will ask for the
read
time.
through this thing.
Kurt
Okay.
will ask for the time.
I stand behind Kurt and be sure that every lapse of my patience, which roughly lasts about 1 minute and 40 seconds each,
We got real,
I
man.
sigh, or
Yeah.
I groan, or I ask over his shoulder, "You done?"
Kurt takes that all in stride. Whole 15 minutes. You just keep reading.
Meanwhile, like as you're reading this too, Tenla is not surprised by this and is not she does not pressure you
Kurt
to
pulls out a pair
hurry.
of reading glasses that he bought. And he puts them on and reads them.
I put my contract next to him and go, "Well, since you're enjoying this so much, you mind double check and make sure there's nothing in
I
mine
take
that isn't in
his
yours?"
and I double check, make sure they're the same.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
double
thanks,
checking,
Ed.
like they are all specifically identical.
Yes, I'll have a gold coin for every time somebody's told me that before. Just double check it, man.
You got it.
All right, thank you.
So in reading all of the contract, most of everything is as she states.
Most.
There is one particular omission that was not brought up ahead of time that reads, or it essentially states that a watcher will be sent with you with first-time crews, and you'll be evaluated. Failing evaluation means that you can be immediately banned or given strikes. The evaluation is on the usage of Explorer Script, your demeanor, whether you're being reckless or cautious, the honesty of the people involved, and the thoroughness of the reports and maps that you bring out.
Now,
I finish it. I bring up to this person, Fenla.
Now, Thenla, I have a question. So, reading through this last paragraph here, got a little bit of a babysitter clause here. What's that about?
Many sign this contract without ever reading that piece.
Yeah, no, I'm imagining that comes as a surprise as they enter into the dungeon with a friend. New friend.
They usually don't know.
Ah. That is...
This is an evaluation period to ensure that we don't have people trying to take advantage of the system, and to ensure that people aren't getting in over their own heads.
You know, that's good to know, because I imagine if any of us were very perceptive, that could be seen as a danger inside of the dungeon, so... Should be something you maybe put up a few paragraphs and highlight.
I noticed pretty quickly. Just photocopied it in my brain.
I don't even know what you're saying. It's a photo. Alright, anyway.
I don't think whatever language processor he's using, I don't think it's working right. He keeps saying gibberish.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you keep saying gibberish. I'm gonna fix you one day.
What language is photocopier? I don't understand.
Yeah, you're talking...
It sounds elvish.
You're talking some interesting stuff there.
My vernacular is beyond you, us.
Alright then.
So you'll also notice that in bringing this up to Tenla and you're speaking this out loud, you will see like a couple of people around the room like taking a look and giving like a kind of like approving nod to like, oh hey, they're paying attention, like that kind of a thing. She'll wave over her shoulder and say, Sirkin, you can show yourself. And you'll see a hold on, a man in the back, or not Sirkin, sorry, I'm using the wrong names, that is my bad. Theris is his name. Theris is a human. He has a very gaunt face, white hair pulled back into kind of like ponytail, wearing a black and red kind of trench coat with a short sword on his side. You see him kind of just appear out of nowhere. He was invisible before and then is visible slightly after. So he shows up back here and kind of walks into... He gives you a quick nod with a smile that looks like an approving, these people seem to be pretty clever if I'm being introduced to them, is kind of the thing that you can read on his face. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I do not like his tone.
Pleasure's all mine. Yo, if we're dying in there, you're supposed to save us, right?
I do have some ways of keeping you from death. However...
Perfect. Now, I weigh a lot, so just drag me out, like, be careful, alright?
I usually do not interfere unless I am very needed.
I'll call for you if we need you. If it's going real bad.
My primary purpose there is to evaluate you. I cannot help during the middle of a battle unless I feel like you are all going to perish.
Yeah, I'm used to not being trusted. That's perfectly fine with me. I don't know how the rest of you feel, but if they need to watch us for one round, go for it.
Well, I appreciate that. I seem to have lost connection. Oh, there it goes. Came back. My internet has been bouncing in and out fairly often, but just as a heads up.
Just don't pull any hamstrings when you're pulling me out of there, alright? I weigh a lot.
I'll try my best.
Alright.
Speaking of which, are any of you able to heal the others?
I look around for other people.
Anybody a healer?
Conventionally.
No. Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a.
Shit, maybe I should have
Healer type.
respect.
Interesting.
You know what? I'll just listen. I'm just gonna go take a nap. I'll have another memory. I'll come back as a cleric or something.
Forget to erase your Palace of the Dead progress. So you
Yeah,
fresh party. Yeah.
Listen, I'll just equip a different main hand weapon.
Well, I just wanted to know who I would get up first. Anyway, I usually pick that up from watching, so it's rare that I get to talk to people before entering the catacombs.
Glad we can make a relationship before we get in there, and you have to save our asses. Alright, great.
Well, the dangers ahead of you shouldn't be too great.
Well, we'll see.
But I'll let Tenla describe a bit of what's been going on here.
I thought we already got the lowdown from our councilman friend. Well, something's changed.
He probably gave you an overview of what you're trying to do, but we have more information. As I said, most people come in here or come out of here with maps. So we can direct you where specifically we know this magic artifact is that was not retrieved yet. The contracts?
Oh yeah. On his hand.
Okay.
Yep, I signed mine and handed over too.
Yeah, same.
Sign mine with an X.
Okay.
Hand it over.
Mine is surprisingly fancy of a signature.
Of course, it's like really well done.
Interesting. She'll take all of those and kind of set them down in a pile. Excellent. Upon going in here, your team is going to be designated Yellow Team for this expedition. She hands you each a yellow piece of chalk and
Go Team Yellow!
Use them to mark your route with the Explorer script that I mentioned. If you need an overview of that, I suppose I can let Sirkin do that for you. Our red team was the initial scouts, and will have marked the room you're after from the maps they brought back. Excuse me, sorry. From the maps they brought back before, you'll be going in and heading to the right. Keep heading that direction until you find a dead-end room. That's where the item is located. So that you know, we do have a secondary team, an excavation team that was sent in an attempt to rescue Red Team. They are designated Blue Team at the moment. You should see their markings heading in and to the left. This has been mostly explored already, so there's lower risk than going in blind, but still keep an eye out in case Red Team got lucky or missed something. Red Team's stuck on the side of the way down. Wait, whoa. I wrote a whole bunch of stuff that is gibberish. Sorry.
Footnotes. Cliff notes.
Okay, so red team was stuck on the way down in a lower floor. You are not to enter a lower floor if you find an entrance, but the entrance is blocked off. They are on that side already, so I don't expect that to become a issue. Expectations for you are the same as all teams. To report floor entrances immediately and not to proceed down until you've returned a map of your discoveries. Red team's following of this is what gives you this overview. And she'll kind of gesture to a map that's sitting down there. And you'll see there's kind of like a T intersection that goes off in a couple of directions. And there's another fork that goes off to the north, and it dead ends to the right. Just from a quick cursory glance. I know there's a lot of rules here, but they're there for your safety and the benefit of the organization and this city as a whole. Whatever you do, please take care of yourselves and be careful. Do you have any more questions?
Kurt shrugs.
Nope. I think I'm ready to get started.
I don't believe so.
Okay then. Do whatever you need to prepare yourselves. You may use lockup 3 if you have any belongings that you wish to take with you, or wish not to take with you. Good luck, Yellow Team, and stay safe. With that, she'll kind of start walking around again and leave you to do whatever you need to prepare yourself. Sirkin kind of, gosh, I keep saying the wrong word. Your guide here is, or not guide, your watcher is standing over there, and he's yeah, and he's going to kind of stand there and be a resource if you have any questions about Explorer's Script. That he is kind of the one to ask, and you can speak to him when you're ready to enter there as well.
I guess I'm gonna move over to the door and be ready to go.
I'll be right behind him.
Alrighty.
Yeah, likewise.
Is anybody going to make use of the lockup to leave any equipment here?
I don't own shit.
Not I.
Need our food
Everything I
box
own
in
is
case.
something I'm bringing with me.
Alright. That is fine. So in looking at the Explorer's Script, there are the expectations for it are as you enter a room, you'll put a rune there that is like a triangle. And as you're progressing through, you're going to add information to that rune whenever you come out of a room. So as you are exploring and things like that, if you want to just mention to me like you're updating that thing or that kind of thing, let me know and I'll kind of convey that into the world.
What if I told you I was going to make sure I did that in every room?
Okay. If you want to be like, take that as a thing that you're constantly doing.
As a
Awesome.
passive, when we go in a room, I will update. Dwarven
Okay.
runes, though, so they're going to have to get used to that. Well, I'll use their rune, but I'm writing in Dwarven.
Yep. And the handout that I gave you is like the system for this.
Do I
it
need to
has
actually write
things
something
for
down?
Yeah, so I linked a
Is it just the different symbols I need to leave behind?
essentially, yeah.
Sure.
It gives you idea of like what are all involved with this.
Wake
so
up,
if
Dustin.
you want to take a second to make sure that you understand what that is, that's fine.
This is their legend for mapping out the catacombs, it looks like, right? Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
And I bought parchment and ink.
We have chocolate.
There you go.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
guys. I was
they
meant to
can
be muted
also-
when I was coughing.
Oh, good. They can also provide paper and ink and stuff for map making specifically, so you don't have to bring your own. But that is definitely okay as well if you'd like.
I am going to use theirs then.
Alrighty.
'Cause ink is expensive.
Right. Yep. And that's part
Yes.
of like the 10% that they're taking.
I am still going to get a scroll case to store that in.
Are you all ready to go?
Oh yeah, yeah, Thurs, we're more than ready.
Excellent. At this point, I'm going to assume my usual position among expeditions like these, where I am the Watcher. And he kind of takes a step back, and you see him disappear again.
Nice.
Proceed. In coming to this staircase, you do see this thing is lit by intricately carved pillars that include kind of magically lit things. Most of the actual lighting in here is torchlight that looks to be managed by the people that are around here, but these are magically lit. They're the kind of crystals that you've seen before, constantly glowing. Coming down the stairs there, you will run into a gate. This gate has metal bars that are gone down there. There's a lever on the wall off to the side that appears to be probably connected to it.
Is there anyone manning this gate?
No.
All right.
Does that look like it's by design, or are we talking like something happened?
You don't see any indication that this would be strange.
Okay.
Pull the lever, Argo.
I ain't doing it.
I pull the lever.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Pulling the lever, you hear tink, 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 as the metal gate in front of you raises. And this is where I'm gonna pull us over to a different map. This would also be good time for a quick break if we need one. So we're gonna do 10 minutes, I guess.
Yes.
Good to me.
That'll give me time to switch us over and take a short break myself. So
Sweet. Nope,
I'm here.
definitely not.
No,
I think we are.
not here.
Absolutely not.
Alrighty. That's the case. In order to run dungeons like this, as we have more people in here nowadays, if the people who are in Tailspire can also move the people who are not in Tailspire. So I'll ask for like yeah. So I'll ask for like a marching order, and kind of assume that you're near a certain person if that's a thing, unless you state otherwise. For those that are in the actual game, I'm definitely considering like where your token is where you'll be on the map. If there are any specific, like I need to lock it down, I can do what is currently going on, which is I have it in cutscene mode, so that makes it so you can't interact with your tokens anymore. So if it gets to a point where it's like, oh hey, something's triggering based on you stepping somewhere or something, I'll switch it over to that, and then where you're at is where you're going to be at. For the people that aren't in there, I'll have you just be near that other person in the marching order. So okay, so with that, I have brought us over to the other map. I guess, Ed, are you good with recording already?
Oh, no, yeah, it's been recording the whole time.
Oh, that's fine.
I just was on a break screen.
I see. Okay, so I have brought us over into the entrance here, and this is where I'll ask for the marching order. I threw everybody here, but I have not... I kind of arranged them in a random order. Is there any specific order that we want to go in?
I'll be around the middle.
Be around the middle, okay.
I think Josh is our front boy, right? Are you built for front?
Yes.
All right.
Front man.
I'll be in the
Okay.
middle. I just want to have access
Front.
to everybody.
I will be towards the
Giants.
front as well.
Right.
Okay.
I will be in front of Ed.
Who?
Front of Ed.
Not
here.
Ed. The
What's my
yeah,
name?
You want
What's
me
my
here?
name, Argo?
I can't remember your goddamn name.
I
All I
knew
know is
it.
that
You just called me Josh, so you know.
you're a
Remember nothing.
you Duragard, you thief.
What happened to that photographic memory?
I had to dump my RAM into something else. All right, now to lay off.
It's Kurt.
So-
Now he only remembers the contract.
Kurt.
So then we have Kurt, we have Alrune, Helmar, Kurt, and Argo in the middle, and then we have Gregory pulling up the rear. Is that work?
That works.
Sounds good.
Gregory likes the
Alright.
rear.
So with that,
What can I say? The ladies enjoy it too.
so upon entrance here, that gate raised up, and you can see kind of beyond that in a strange kind of ethereal hue at first, and as you step through the gate itself, it comes into more clarity. For anybody who feels that they might have some kind of arcane senses to them, would anybody think they have that?
No.
Arcana proficiency, anybody?
I'm not proficient in Arcana. A divine is a form of Arcana, depending upon what kind of world this is, but I don't have proficiency.
No.
Do not have Arcanic knowledge.
Nope. Not for me.
Ed, with the divine thing, I'll give you the ability to roll, but I'll do this at disadvantage. So
Absolutely.
go ahead and make that.
You want an Arcana or religion?
Arcana.
They're both 0.
Yeah, religion, fine.
Here we go. Can I give myself disadvantage really quick? How do I do that in this thing?
Oh, that is an excellent question.
Yeah, because I'm used to it.
Right click.
Right click? Right click. Ah, that's cool. I didn't know that. Send a
Just
self,
right on the-
everyone, or just Dungeon Master. Ooh, right click is cool. Flat one die. All right, this is new. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, same. Is that? I wonder. That's got to be the extension, right?
No,
Or no, that's just D&D Beyond.
that's just beyond.
Ah, very cool.
There's a nice flat 9 for you, just
Okay.
below average.
Okay, with a 9, you'll say you feel a weird shift, but you don't know what it means.
You know what? As I hear that weird shift and I don't know what that means, my boy in front, that is, I got the name right here. Hilmar. Hilmar?
Yeah.
I
Not Josh.
just brush against Hilmar, hopefully unnoticeable, and I cast resistance on him. Can't-
Okay. So resistance. It's a cantrip, you said?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even brush. I just give him a good pat and I go, I think you're safe. I just pat him and resistance. That'll be an extra D4 for saving throw because you're going in first.
Almost didn't see you there, small
Yeah.
one.
Well, come on now. Pretty tall for a guy. 4'6" is a minded height.
I am twice your height.
Okay, but okay. In retrospect, I'm pretty tall. According to my rest of my race.
Be careful about brushing against me.
I was just giving you some confidence boost. Don't worry about
I
it.
might kick you by accident.
A little bit of
Just headbutt him in the groin.
a little bit of magic, in there, but it's fine. Just wishing you good luck.
Alright.
So D4 to saving throws.
Yay! D4 to saving throw. Sweet.
Next saving throw to come up. Just the next one.
So, I'm front. Should I do the moving?
Yeah, you should.
Go for it.
Resistance. Resistance.
Alright.
I will follow you.
15 feet.
So right there, even on the left side of that door, there's kind of an outcropping there. You'll see a couple of different glyphs, and you recognize those as Explorer's Script. One you'll see is in chalk, and the other it's in blue chalk, and then the other you'll see is in red kind of arcane glyphs. So they're kind of floating out from the wall a little bit, but marked there. But it's still the same Explorer's Script. You see red triangle and a blue triangle there. This is where Kurt, you'll note, as the Explorer's Script person,
Wait a minute,
you'll
colors.
want to.
Didn't say nothing about colors.
Yeah, so
Oh,
each
it's the
team was designated a color.
Blue, yellow,
All
red.
right,
yeah.
y'all. Triangle means currently exploring.
Yep. So you'll want. This is where you'll place a yellow triangle to say like, "Hey, we're in the dungeon."
And so are we.
Just drag it across.
Yeah,
Like a piece of chalk.
Excellent. So, in this starting chamber here, you'll see a couple torches on either side. This is kind of the more broken down stonework that you've seen in the lower part of the palace as well. So this is kind of more weathered. You can tell that it's been here longer, but or longer than like the palace structure above that was built on top. You see in the center of this room, there's kind of like a pedestal that somebody's placed a lantern on to light up this space as well.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and move a little bit forward.
Are you done writing yet?
Yeah. Oh wait, it's been like 60 seconds. Come here. I give him a little, like, I go put your hand and I do a little slap. I don't want to be weird. I'm warding you for danger. All right, it's magic. Just let it happen.
It's magic, just let it happen.
Keep going. I'm not gonna be awkward about it. Trying to poke you every 5 seconds. It's about a minute time. Wards you for danger. Just keep going.
Right. Well,
We'll move 5, 10, 15, 20 in.
I'm
right
keeping
here.
on him. If 60 seconds passes, he gets a new one. He gets a new ward.
Okay. Yeah, and coming in here, like you can see, there's a passage that continues on in front of you. There's steps. You do see a giant pit kind of in the middle that shows kind of a apparent danger there. From this angle, you can't really see what's at the bottom of it, but you do see a X on the edge of that
Danger
Danger
here. X is danger here.
I got like the paper.
Yep.
Like the dad with the map on the Cedar Point field
Like-
trip. All right, we gotta go to Raptor.
It's upside down.
Danger here. X is the same, up or down. Most of these shapes are the same. Means there's danger, so we gotta be careful.
All right.
Imagine it's the pit.
I could only imagine.
Being written on the like very edge of it, you can kind of imagine that's what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but-
no, they are. And there's a square, right? Is it in a square? Where the X is?
The pit itself?
No. The illustration on the wall. Is it an entered? Or well, no.
Oh,
Let's see. Found unexplored. Yeah, what's the framing here?
So the original, the first entrance one was a triangle.
There's a
That's just
triangle
saying
currently
those
exploring.
are there.
Got it. And then we have an X, just a solo X.
Yes.
All right, that's fine.
Upon entering this room, you do see there are two kind of exits to the room, and you see glyphs on either one.
So no square. Square means dead end. All right.
Right.
Oh, we want to head towards the dead end one, don't we? On the right.
If there's a
Mhm.
square, yeah.
There's something there waiting.
So in there, on the left one, you'll see a red triangle, also with a small chevron mark underneath the triangle.
Chevron. What's a chevron?
It's like it's an arrow, kind of like,
It's like a triangle without a bottom.
yeah.
Like a private.
That means
rank.
it goes lower. That means it's if it's under another symbol, it leads down to the next floor.
Correct.
Right.
That is, so there's a red one there. That is the triangle, has that mark underneath, and it has a one tick mark over top of nothing with like a divider sign. And then there's also a blue triangle underneath that.
The blue went this way. If it's one ticket, that means I found one danger in the room. Left it. I think.
I think it's the pit.
Or no. There's just one danger they're marking in the room. It could be the pit. Yeah.
You'll know that this is usually what's to come, not in the current room.
So not in this room, but in an adjacent room.
Right. So like this
the
entrance is to the next door or to the next room. That room is going to have whatever this
Understood.
script
We'll
has.
see how long I last as the room keeper here.
You hear that, Invisible Watcher? Whoever came through here last. What color are those markings?
There's a red triangle and a blue.
Wow, both red and blue team failed to mention the room with the pit. We're getting reports on preceding rooms, but not this room. That's gross oversight.
Yeah, but
walked in-
All we got was currently exploring in this room.
We could have walked right into that pit, never seen it coming. Nobody would have told us.
You hear no response.
That's what I thought.
On the right entrance, you see a red square.
Right. Oh, over to the right. Okay, yeah. So that would just be entered dead end eventually. So to the left, it keeps going.
Which way are we going?
Well, we were told to go to the right.
Yes, we're going to the right.
So we should go left.
That's why these guys got the same thing. We should go left.
I mean, don't matter. to me.
Fine. We go right.
Right. it is.
Listen. Alright, I've played a few video games in my time, and I tell you, if
What-
the game's
wait,
telling you
what?
to go right, you go left.
My fourth wall. Let's rebuild it.
That's where the extras are. That's how you get the secret bonus level.
Man, you talking about fourth wall? You going insane? You lost your mind.
Let's build the fourth wall back up.
Well, which one is the fourth one?
It's the one that just got broken. Let's rebuild it. Let's keep going.
All right. Yep. I'm ready. Well, we should go right because that's where they said we should go.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go left after. I mean, it's supposed to be a dead end anyway. Ward.
Yeah, so at this door is that red square that you see. And this is where you would know to put kind of your yellow triangle. Yep, to say we're going this way.
Hey, my kobold friend, it seems like you're... Do you want to use the rooms? Because I'm having a little trouble.
Put a yellow triangle on the door.
Hey, there's my buddy right there.
All of these shapes and colors are confusing.
Much
We'll team
neater
up.
than his one.
We'll team up on this, because you've got this down harder than I do.
Okay. You see a door in front of you. You can see it is currently open. It takes into another room in front of you.
Right.
You entering, it seems.
I'm moving up to the door
Okay.
and looking inside.
Warded.
Okay. So looking inside, you see a chamber that has a couple of decorations in it. There's a statue and a brazier in the center. It's kind of on a raised platform. There are some other implements around that seem to have been rifled through already. There are some like empty barrels and boxes that have look like they have their lids off and like the contents had been removed. So
There's
And,
most of a wheel of cheese in that corner.
How many wheels of cheese?
For some reason, it fills half the room, and you don't understand why. Can I roll a perception check and see if there is anything being sneaky in here, or trying to avoid being seen?
Go for it.
As I see him looking around and say, "You studying the room? You gotta let me know when you're doing that." Ward, I give him guidance.
Okay.
You just have
Right.
little shimmers of light happening behind.
Whatever.
A D4.
Perception check. Oh god, plus a d4.
Hey, come on, get that 9. Hey!
So looking into the room, you don't see anything more detailed than I explained there. You see a couple of spots that like there's a degraded floor tile that might be a tripping hazard, but other than that, you don't see anything trap-wise or anything there.
I'm like right behind him, gauging if he's gonna keep moving. The minute he does, just resistance again.
Alrighty.
I'm
Trying to move my foot here.
I'm warding you. I'm just keeping you safe.
Alright,
I'm being constantly annoyed by a hand shooting over my head.
15 feet in. Kind of look around.
You're able to see a little bit more, nothing out of the ordinary there. You see a door across from the door that you've entered into, and then there's kind of an opening that leads off to the, I guess, left from where you're coming in.
what did we need to do in this room?
We have to follow the path until we find the dead end with the item we're to retrieve. Somewhere.
So, do we go straight?
I think there's only one way out of the room.
There's 2 ways out of the room.
Oh, 2 ways.
There are 2.
All right,
Yep.
we just gotta see what symbols there are then. Look for the dead end.
Yeah. So, coming into the room a little bit more, looking for those symbols, you see the one that shoots off to the left. There is a red square with a line over top of a 1 hash mark. And then in the forward direction, there is a red square with a star over top of the line with nothing underneath.
Door over top of the line.
There's
So
treasure
they-
beyond then.
They took something from the other place as danger, right?
It was just a square with a star above a line on the door straight ahead of us.
Correct.
That's the place where we're supposed to go then, because that
Yeah,
means there's a
the-
treasure that they have not taken.
And it's a dead end.
And
Well,
is that what was the left?
The left one has a red square with one hash mark over nothing.
Wow, red team did nothing. Sheesh.
I'm happy other people already know how to do these runs.
So
So there's danger in the left room. Treasure
were-
straight ahead.
tasked with retrieving the treasure, correct?
Yeah, the straight ahead treasure, I think.
So let's just start with that.
We'll start with that and then work from there.
With our current order, I ask, I ask Alrun.
Say, hey, Al, can we trade places so I'm not reaching over your head? Is that okay? I got some good defensive spells over here. I just wanna utilize.
Hey.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Ward.
Did you say word or ward?
Ward, it's ward. Word, whatever, you know? Warding word. Keep the front line strong.
Right. And look at the cheese. How old is this cheese?
Is that a wheel cheese?
I wasn't joking. I
Can
saw a wheel of
can we
cheese in the corner.
collect the wheel of
There
cheese?
is, in fact, a wheel of cheese in front of you in a broken open barrel.
Is it good?
It looks to have like a layer of mold on it.
Right, not eating.
So you mean the cheese has cheese on top of it?
Not for eating.
There are some cheeses where that's acceptable.
Is it one of those cheeses? I can make a check.
Is this one such cheese?
Being a cook, you would know. Sure, yeah, you could probably cut the mold off of that.
If it's
Fine.
blue, get rid of it. It's disgusting.
I love blue cheese. No.
I hate it.
Aw.
Nasty.
I shoved the cheese into the preserving chest after I cut off the bowl.
Is cheese in the inventory? Can we actually get cheese in D&D?
Not eating
Yeah, now you can.
Oh.
blue cheese.
Add a custom item cheese.
Yep. Alrighty. So, coming to this door, this is the one marked with the red square with the star over nothing. And then, looking inside, you see a few things, just from a cursory glance of the room. You have 4 what look like to be sarcophagi that are kind of at the edges of the room. And in the back of the room, you see a completely gated off section that through the bars, you can see another sarcophagus that looks to be wooden instead of the stone of the other ones. In the far back of that, you see a statue holding what looks to be a small wooden box. That statue currently is holding like its arm out, revealing said box in its other hand.
I appreciate the camera work, Kyle. I really do. I really do.
Yeah. So if you look at like the back cage, that blue thing that the statue's holding in the back, that's what I'm saying is the box.
Right.
So there ways you get through a door.
Well,
I guess we should.
So the other thing that you notice that I didn't illustrate there, the sarcophagus closest to you on the left side is actually open. All 3 other ones are currently closed. Like the lid of it's been slid to the side.
Oh, well, I'm standing that
As
here.
illustrated.
I put a triangle underneath the other symbols.
Cool. Noted.
Step up to the not that
Oh,
the
boy.
threshold.
And I
Yeah.
pull out the paper they gave me and quickly sketch 2 squares with a section.
I don't got spells for that. Oh no!
Did you just yeet yourself off the board?
He is off the board.
Yeah, did.
Here, I'll put you back.
Yeet.
That was trippy. Anyway,
Resistance.
Give it a
so,
little
Yeah, what's happening?
blue small one.
You'll want
Would
your
you
green
like to-
thing to be above the white thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Check this room for
Yeah,
anything. Right.
I pull up next to our little our here, and I'm gonna look around the room and see if I see anything.
I pat him in
I'm
the
not
back.
little.
I just pat him in the
Okay.
back. I give him guidance.
Do I have guidance on this one?
Yeah, I pat you in the back. I go, you looking around? Good.
I'm back in the back.
I roll similarly to our. Oh, it did disadvantage when it shouldn't have. 1 second. Oh, okay. It would have been the 3 anyways, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, I think the +4 is your modifier.
yeah, it has a flat disadvantage because of the sunlight thing. I forgot to turn that off.
Oh. Is there like a checkbox for it somewhere, maybe?
Check for conditions.
Yeah, mine's not on. How do you even turn that on?
I don't know. It was auto on mine.
Yeah. We are definitely not in sunlight down here, so
No.
this is dim light. So looking around the room, you don't see anything more than I've described. You also, let's see. I mean, the smells
okay.
around here are a little bit stale, and there's a bit of like a weird
Right.
smell.
Got 9 total, it looks like. So
Okay.
we have a consistent roll here.
Yeah. Okay. So you won't get any new information off of that, but
Nice.
Looks clear.
Resistance back on the barbarian.
Right. Good. I'm going to step forward.
alrighty. Stepping
We-
forward. Nothing.
Going for the box in there. Is that what we want?
Should probably go look at that door at least and see how it's locked.
So approaching the door, taking a
Mhm.
look.
I already
Mhm.
motioned. Yeah.
So taking a look at the door, it is currently closed. You don't see a keyhole or anything for it to lock. And it doesn't seem to be like physically barred in any way.
Hmm. Can I place my hand on it? Try to pull it open.
So as you place your hand on it and you shake it a little bit, it doesn't seem to open freely, but you can't really tell why it won't.
I guess we need to check sarcophagi.
Well, I guess we know why there's treasure, but they didn't take it.
Right. Shall we open these
Have you tried
boxes?
that? Just check to see if it's a push door.
Push? I push the door instead.
It opens.
you gave it a good rattle before, so you.
Ooh.
But giving it a good push now, it's not a push door.
I fall up the stairs.
I did try pushing.
Okay.
No good. What do we try next?
Yeah, I'm gonna be frank with all of you. My intelligence is -2. This is not my.
What's your wisdom, though?
Purview.
What's your wisdom, though? Come on, street
My
smart.
wisdom is impressive by common
Then
standards.
you should be fine.
Yes, you need me to spot anything in this room. I will certainly put my effort towards it.
Spotting's a good idea.
All right, I'll cast my eye. I would like to roll a perception.
Would you like guidance?
I could always use your guidance. You never led me wrong.
You got it. Thinking over here somewhere. My guidance.
Go for it.
Smacked him in the back of the head.
All right, so if I roll for my character in Beyond, will it?
Yep, I'll get it.
Okay. I'm usually not a player, so this stuff will be a little awkward for me.
So
Beyond sweet.
if you want to
All
determine who sees it, if you click on the game log in the top, there's like the little bubble with the dash through it.
Yeah,
You're sent to default. You can change the default role to either everyone self or DM only.
when you right click
And you can
on
change
the button,
individual roles too
when
by
you-
right clicking.
Yeah, when you right click on it, you can do that too.
Yeah, I've got no idea what you guys are talking. Oh, wait a minute.
The little
It's 'cause
bubble.
I'm in edit
right
mode.
next
Oh,
to
hold on.
campaign, right by
I
the
f-
anvil.
Yep. I was in edit mode. That's why I was having trouble.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. This makes much more sense. All right, perception. Here we go. You said you were guidancing.
Yep.
Is that a
That's
D4
an extra
or
D4. I'll roll the D4
Alright.
for you, so you don't gotta roll.
Okay. Nice.
There's a 2 for you.
Okay.
We're good at perception.
So with the 12, just looking around, you see what I had described before with the 4 different sarcophagi. Being a little bit closer, you do see that the one being slid open, there are a bunch of bones on the inside of those sarcophagi. Or that specific one that you're looking at.
All right, I search it.
Okay. Searching through the bones.
Yeah, I'm not shy about this. I'll just take a dagger out and root around, poke about.
Go
Are
ahead and make
these-
an investigation check.
Hey,
Okay.
Would you like guidance again? Can I apply it again here?
Go for it.
Alright, I'll just...
Know who's really good at investigation checks? People with a -2 to intelligence.
Yeah, I would actually prefer to use my sight to determine what's in here, but I will investigate.
Well, you did say you were like taking out a dagger and rooting around in there. That feels a little more investigation-y to me.
Let's get it. You got a +3. It's like having a +1 to the roll. You're fine. It's a 12.
Plus the 3 that you rolled, right?
Yeah, but it's... Oh, no, yeah, you're right. It's 14.
That's a 14.
That already applies the negative. Nice.
So rooting around in there, you do see like a number of different bones. It looks like there's enough there to be like an entire human skeleton. You don't see anything of note within it either.
Hey, big guy.
Hmm.
Want to rip
Me
one of
or
these tops
the-
off?
What do you want? The
That'd be Helmar.
metal man.
Helmar's is-
Me? Okay. Right.
No, the one that actually has muscles.
Yeah, Helmar.
Right. I will help you. Or you help me. Either
I
way.
will watch you.
Okay.
Actually, I could certainly give the help action, but I am not as strong.
I can assist.
You can't assist me helping him.
I will assist Argo helping
I will
Gregory.
assist the
I'm gonna
assistants.
give help action
Yes.
to him giving help action.
We're gonna chain up assistants to. Yeah. No. Okay. I will. I will do that
One
with
help.
if Gregory is going to assist me. I will roll strength advantage.
Okay.
Strength check.
Do you want guidance?
So you're trying to open the top of the
Sarcophagus right here.
sarcophagus? Okay. No strength check needed. You notice that like the top of the sarcophagus moves very easily. It's almost on a swivel somehow. So it slides to the side without barely needing to do anything. And
Are there names on these graves? Just as a question.
no, there are general symbols, but nothing that would help identify.
Oh, it was easy. Didn't need to do anything.
All right. I am going to approach the open side. And then I am going to peer within, being careful not to have any intent of looking further beyond what my eyes will visually tell me.
Don't need a check. You see much the same thing that you saw in the previous sarcophagus. Enough bones for there to be a humanoid skeleton in there. But other than that, you don't see anything.
Okay. Anybody got a blunt weapon?
Yeah, no, yeah, I do.
Sweet.
Your name is Hammer, so.
Yeah, I got a hammer.
Listen, you remember what we did when we chased that necromancer into the crypt? Yeah, just cap him.
You just want me to...
Well, we got your basic human skeletons in here. Just break their, break their tibias, fibias, whatever.
Yeah, all right.
If they reanimate, they'll be crawling at us.
I don't usually like to disrespect the dead, but I mean, I understand your concerns, so have
You're
at it
getting
here.
a cleric to beat the shit out of some buried people.
Well, he does worship the sun.
Whoa, no. I got a holy symbol of the sun. I worship whatever I want. Now I'm just smashing bones. I'll smash him. I'll give him a couple of hits.
So you're
Cobalt, I assume worshiping the sun is evil.
just smashing the bones that are inside the
I'll
sarcophagus?
break up the big pieces into littler pieces.
Okay. You go ahead and do that. You manage to break a bunch of the bones around.
That looked pretty good.
Nothing seems to happen.
I mean, it didn't come to life, so I think I probably just disgraced somebody's bones. Hopefully I'm not haunted.
Listen, if these people cared a lick about their remains, they wouldn't have made it so their coffin lid opens on a goddamn swivel.
Well, these might just be people who were left in here when they it changed over.
True. If I'm haunted, I'll let you know.
Lowlander customs are very strange.
These ain't no customs. I just don't give a shit about what people believe in.
I mean, to each their own. That's what I would say.
I guess
It's
we'll
true. And I don't give a
Continue.
Hell
The
yeah,
swiveling?
brother.
continue the swiveling.
You keep giving no shits.
shit. Yeah, high five.
I will pull Argo into the room because Argo was sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
so-
I can't control. I would assume I'd be moving with everyone else.
Here you
yeah,
go,
that's
buddy.
why I was pulling Argo into the room.
Yeah, put him first. Make him go.
Oh,
Is there anything Argo's trying to do?
Hey, what's Argo doing?
What am I? Do you really want to know? Fiddling with my.
Yeah, I asked.
He's fiddling with something, all right.
I'm fiddling with my goddamn arm. That's what I'm fiddling with. Don't need to worry about that. Is there anything else to investigate?
Currently in the room, you've swiveled open one sarcophagus.
Oh, he's
One was already
swiveling,
open.
all right.
There's two more in there.
Please. I've been tolerating you enough.
And I guess people have looked through the bars a little bit, or at the bars themselves. Through there, you see the statue that's holding some kind of small box, and then there's the wooden sarcophagus in there.
And we haven't found any. We haven't found any keys.
There doesn't appear to be a keyhole, but no, you have not found any keys.
Well, there are keyholes on them.
On this, but
No.
there are no doors in the tile set that have no keyholes.
Oh. Well,
These are not real keyholes.
Correct.
They're imaginary keyholes.
They are
In your imagination.
decorative keyholes.
Can I tell if these bars can like retract up or down?
In giving it a look over, it doesn't look like they would retract up, down, left, or right, but it looks like it could swivel out, and you see like hinges in the top and bottom of part of the door.
We already rattled the door. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
It is not freely opened.
I'm paying attention. I'm just like, I'm bad at dungeons. If you haven't already guessed.
We want to get some. Let's open up the rest of these.
Continue.
Open up the
Opening.
rest of them.
Right.
I'll open up one. Why the hell not?
Which one are you opening?
That one. I'm flinging the top open.
Okay. It doesn't fling up as much as it just slides to the side on a pivot. Much like the other two, this one opens.
All right. What's inside?
Inside is similarly, there's a skeleton of a humanoid, the bones being mixed about.
Am I smashing them up? Adding another name to the list of people who want to kill me in the afterlife.
Yeah, you've got
Are you smashing up all of them?
You're safer.
You've smashed up one so far. Are you trying to smash up all of the
I
ones
need
that
the
are-
whole ancestry to come after me in the afterlife.
All right, good to know.
I think, on a positive note, though, as a cleric, you're the safest person in the afterlife, so.
All right, there we go. It should be me. Smash.
God.
He ain't getting up anytime soon.
All their long bones are broken.
I'm just killing dead people.
You know what's great about dead people? They can't fight back.
They don't feel it.
I will open the remaining sarcophagus.
Making them more flexible, you realize.
Please God, let it be all dusted. No bones.
So opening this final one, it opens much the same way as the other ones. However, when
But-
you pull it open, you hear a and the gate hold on. Yeah, so the gate opens on its own. It swings up and you hear but you also see the statue close in on itself and draw the item inside.
Should we slide one of these closed and see what happens?
Yep.
I close the one I just opened.
So closing the one you just opened, the gate itself closes.
All right.
Does the shield
open 'em up.
move?
So somebody gotta go in.
The shield does not reopen.
I want in. Let me in.
What happens if we close the ones that were already closed again?
Yeah, let's close them all. See what happens.
Okay. Closing the ones that you've already closed or that you just opened yourselves, nothing really happens.
All of
when
them. Yeah.
when you close the last one, you hear a click, but nothing visibly happens.
I see if I can move the door.
Open them all. I got this.
What order are you opening them all?
I mean, if there is an order that is important, the one that caused the door to open.
So you're opening that one first.
Yes.
Okay, so if you open that one, you will see the door opens.
I
Cool.
resistance him before he goes in there.
I step aside.
Then I guess we should open the one that opened that was already open?
Well, what happened? They were all closed except for one, and when we closed that one, we heard a click.
Mm-hmm.
So we should close them all again to get the click back.
Right.
I'm assuming this can't be opened. Like I touch it and
Yes, upon inspection of the statue, you'll see that like it is sealed in on itself. There's not a great way to pry things away. Like you can wrench on it a little bit, but it doesn't come out, and it seems to be very sturdy.
So I think we should open the one that was already open with the door open and see if that just fixes it. If it doesn't, we should close them all and open the one that was already open.
Right. I push the first one on the left.
Okay, so you're opening this one.
Mhm.
All right, so upon opening that one, the gate slams shut, but you also hear a as the statue opens.
Oh shit!
Grab the box! Grab the box!
grab the box. But I use my perception first.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
I am going to try and detect any traps.
I'm reaching through the bars like, wait, let me help you.
Unfortunately, at the other side of that room, you can't really get that close unless it. How long's the duration of
I'm
that?
just getting it. It's a
A
minute.
Okay, so
He
yeah,
doesn't
you
have
can do
to. I'm
that,
just
and then
being
just he
obnoxious.
walks over it. Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
just being
I like to
obnoxious.
think I pressed my ass up against the bars and he slapped it through it.
That seems like a hammer move.
Here's your D4.
Classic hammer.
I do.
Oh,
I do like how in Baldur's Gate they literally made this a toggleable thing because people were like, "I'm just gonna keep recasting this every time I'm about to." Do
I will
something."
stop describing it and just start rolling it, and you tell me if you take it or not, or if the DM tell me if it's not possible.
Yeah, that's fine. Still waiting on that roll.
Oh, I did roll.
You got a 3.
I got an
Perception
11,
I
and
see
he
it.
rolled a 3.
Oh, okay. So that's a
14.
14 total. No, that was 13 minutes ago.
Mine
There's
says 2
one
minutes.
2 minutes ago. That's
Yep, there's
Scroll
one
down.
right
I'm gonna
beneath
refresh.
it. There's 15-minute 11, and there's a 2-minute 11.
Yep.
Okay,
they're right
okay,
down.
there we
They're
go, there we go. It didn't refresh on my screen, so that's all it was.
You're
Okay,
gonna
so
choke.
we're at,
Yeah.
it's a 14 total again. So looking in there, you do see what appears to be some kind of mechanism underneath the box itself. It's kind of like a pressure plate type of a deal.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna need to replace this Indiana Jones style, or if I take it, something's gonna happen.
Who is Indiana Jones?
Oh, he's a famous explorer back from where we came from. You probably didn't read any of his journals or memoirs because I imagine you can't read.
Dang,
But,
man,
yeah,
that's
news-
brutal.
Hey, I mean, he takes after me. I can't read either. My
Alright.
intelligence is negative too. Anyways,
Hmm.
I've had his stories dictated but not read, and they're pretty good. His trick was
The local
taking
bard
something.
told you about him.
Yeah, no, this bard comes sing, dance around, real Norn type. But anyway,
Indiana Jones.
yeah, Indiana Johannes.
Something about Crystal Skull or something.
Yeah, and the Crystal
Right.
Goblet, or
There's some weird opera stories up here.
yeah. Anyways, he has a sack of grain, puts it on the thing. I
Right.
don't know about this though. You know what? I think I'm just. I'm gonna check my inventory, see if I got. Hold on, I sit down.
Anybody
I
got
pull out
something
my
we can
back.
swap here?
Oh shit, I
Did
forgot
go
a
take
description.
look? Oh.
So, Kyle, as you entered that chamber,
Oh.
also, you got a distinct smell of. It's like acidic and nauseatingly, like.
Is it sulfurous?
I wouldn't say sulfurous.
Okay.
It's acidic, though.
Yeah, not a fan.
Hmm.
Just as you're sitting, you said you were sitting down, right? To do that, it gets a little bit worse as you're sitting down on top of this thing.
Something
This
underneath.
thing being it is actually a coffin, right?
It is a wooden sarcophagus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't give a
Coffin,
shit
yeah.
about. I don't give a shit about dead people. So I am in fact sitting on this.
I think we established that.
You will if they burn your ass off.
I will try my best to emit a fart and hope that it bleeds through the wood and gives a nice treat to the undead motherfucker that's sitting
Feel
under
offended, and I'm
And
not
that
even.
is how we lost Gregory.
this. And that's how I died. Okay, so I don't have anything I think could replace whatever this is. So I guess we're gonna trigger a trap. I could try and I don't have thieves' tools, so I can't disable it.
I do.
All right, well let's get the little guy in here.
Alright.
We'll have
Close
to-
all the coffins.
1, 2,
Close.
buckle my shoe, close the door, open up the bars, get the,
The
fucking
dance,
lizard
right.
in here.
Back and forth.
Closing all the coffins, you get the click sound, but nothing happens.
Well, yeah. Then we
So you
open
need
up
to
or
open-
wait by
No,
me.
no. When you close that one, sorry, the statue closes. My bad.
Well, that was expected.
Yep, we need the door to open now.
So
Are
I
you
open the one
going
next to
to?
me.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you open that one, the door swings open.
Switch spots with.
Oh, I think I should still be in here in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Put me
As you're
by- put
coming
me by
in,
the
you
bars.
also get that bad smell.
Actually, out of curiosity, if I took a pinion, could I force this door to remain open?
Like a pipe.
Hidden?
A piton.
Hammer
Pin
into
is
the
actually
ping, ping,
correct.
ping.
A piton.
I got a hammer. I can put it into the ground.
Go for it.
You got it. All right, just hold it there. Pum, pum, pum.
So doing that, is there a tool check for this?
For a pitten on a door, there absolutely is. It is probably in the actual thieves' tools thing. But honestly, it's your call. 10, 15, 20.
Just says
Thieves' tools is expanded in another book. I think this is a you
Oh,
call.
is it? Okay. Let's go ahead and make a. If you're proficient with like thieves' tools or something, go ahead and use that. If not, a general dexterity check would work.
To put this in the ground.
Yeah, to see how effectively you're applying this.
All right. You want to roll with my assistance there, Greg?
Sure.
Or
I'll
whoever.
actually roll.
Yeah, I don't have
For
proficiency
dex.
with these tools.
Whoever's doing this, whoever I'm helping with.
Yeah. I'm gonna use something else that has the same proficiency because I
Oh.
don't see a way to roll for thieves' tools. So
Yeah, I think
Oh, it's sleight of hand.
yeah, thieves' tools wouldn't be this either. I think it'd be more climbing tools. Anyway.
I don't have a climbing tool proficiency, but I have a really high dex. So
It's fine. I'm assisting him with my hammer, and there's your guidance if you want it.
okay.
Okay, if you're using a hammer to drive it in, I'll give you advantage too.
Okay.
That's me helping.
So I'm looking for one that I can roll that has the correct number.
Just your dex score right at the top. You should be able to hit that.
Yeah, you can. I think you should click that.
Forgot to advantage it, so I'll roll again. So 20
30, 20.
plus
3.
your 3. So 23.
Oh, plus the D4. Ah, okay. So yeah, you get a good angle on it and wedge it in there with the hammer. It drives in kind of in between the cracks of the stone flooring as well. So you feel like you got it in there pretty good.
Progress.
Okay. Guess we should attempt to open the other sarcophagus.
Right. Back to this one.
You're opening it. Alrighty. So opening this one.
Wrong side. Ow. Okay.
Wait,
Stabbed
what?
myself. It stabbed me. Went through my face.
Oh, I see. You hear a as the door tries to close, and you hear like a, and you can see that the piton is holding, but has bent a little bit in place as this door has tried to magically close on top of it. But you will see that the statue also opens.
You're a genius, Gregory.
I believe in Gregory's great wisdom.
Amazing wisdom.
Very wise group, not a particularly smart group.
We are very wise.
Why does that feel
I
like
guess-
bless your heart? You're very wise.
I will
Been
try
through a lot
to
of shit.
figure out how to lock in place the pressure plate so it can't move in either direction.
Okay. That I feel like would also be kind of like a general dexterity check. This would maybe be more thieves' tools to disarm the trap itself.
Do have a thieves' tool proficiency.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna use the sleight of hand one because that one is the right roll.
Okay.
Putting it out there, give or take. DM can say no. Just gonna always roll it.
So 24.
24. Okay. So you are able to wedge a piece of something in underneath where it looks like it probably won't be able to go under. And then for the up case, you are able to wedge a piece under something else that is then pointed down so that it's holding it in place between the two pins that you kind of placed there.
Alright. Okay.
Someone put me
Everyone
behind
ready?
Gregory. Someone put me behind Gregory before we.
All right.
Oh.
Behind. Okay.
I'm ready.
I have a
What do you-
second.
I don't know.
I pick up the box.
Okay. So you pick up the box. You don't hear any clicks or anything from the pressure plate that you noticed. However, you do see and hear some clattering from behind you. The
Under me, behind
Good-
me, or just
Have
behind
fun
me?
crawling, you little
it'd be
shits.
a lot farther behind you.
Got it.
And as you kind of expected, out of two of these, the open sarcophagi
Got
are
the most broken skeletons
bones
you've ever
beginning to stand up on their own. They're
seen. Ashes.
hovering and coming back into place.
So many.
They
pieces.
are already shattered from
Yeah, they
Kurt
are.
cracking them.
This
in
is a
many
million. This is
places.
weird. This is a million pieces.
So they don't look like they're holding together well. But this is where I'll have you roll initiative.
Hell yeah, Gregory
Hey.
coming true. I'm punching the skeletons, pitting the door.
That's what I'm
Just-
talking about.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Just these two, because they were open, right? Yeah.
Oh no, very.
Do we hear rattling from the other two?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
One of
Ah.
them is not all dust, though, for sure. At least.
We didn't have a heart to do it dirty to all of them.
I think I only did it to 2.
I had 3.
3. I did 3. Yeah, you're right. I was one. The one by Josh's character, whose name is the most complicated one.
Ilmar?
Elmar. Yeah, it is.
All right,
Just
sorry
yours.
for that double roll, Jacob.
No,
Oh,
not a word I usually say. I like I have it written down.
I got a 16 there, Jacob. I accidentally rolled it again. Got a 12.
Cool. So we've got. Let's see. Oh, I can do this. I'm gonna run initiative out of Beyond real quick.
Totally do it. I love your name, by the way, Josh.
Just
I
with a
can't say it.
scratch.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna call him HJ.
Ooh, HJ's cool. I won't do it unless he wants me to.
Hilmar.
Go L.
Oh,
So in that, go with y'all.
Josh, I
Y'all?
can't tell if you're
Y'all?
pursing your lips out of frustration with me or not.
Hjalmar.
You're good.
I love you,
Don't worry
buddy.
I say no thing.
He's gonna kill me.
Oh, this.
Hjalmar, you here?
For some reason. And then 16 for Argo.
Want to compare HPs real quick?
You got more than me, I'm sure.
You probably have the most.
I got 10.
What's your HP, Jacob?
12.
Or what-
12.
what's-
I think 10 is going to be our low group because we have two D8. We have 2 D8 hit points.
Yeah, I'm a D8, right?
I'm a D8 too.
Am I a D10 or a D8? I can't remember.
Everyone else is a D10. Everyone
what's
else is a fighter class of some sort, except for Josh, who's a D12.
What's your HP, Josh?
14, and if I rage, I take half damage. So either way, I have twice as many HP.
One extra HP.
He's got rage, though.
I cut my damage in half. So
I remember when I used to interpret it as 1. Like, I think it was like you reduced your damage by 2.
What's your armor class, though?
19.
Hey, mine's also
Alrighty.
19.
right.
That's probably going to be the lowest because I'm a monk. But
I forgot
things.
to.
How'd you get
had,
19? What the heck?
For this.
Wait, where'd my equipment go?
oh, mine's only 16. I just have a low.
No, I'm asking Dustin how he got 19. He must have a boon in there.
I have.
Because
no-
he's a warforge.
Oh,
He has
yeah,
+1.
they already got that +1. That's how he's got it.
Alrighty. We have a initiative here, and Aldrin is up first.
Okay. I guess I
really?
will.
What did you roll?
20 something.
Oh shit.
You both got the same. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're tied.
I just
Okay,
have
yeah,
a
your
ton of
dex is
dex.
way higher. Yeah, I was gonna say. No way.
Is there any chance for the battle that we can lighten this up or no?
Uh,
So I can see. I have 120 dark vision. I don't know about I just want to see.
Mine looks brighter than yours, so I can adjust that for sure.
Well, if it's just lights on people, that works too.
If I
just
put
wanna
lights
see.
on people, that should work fine.
Yeah, I just can't see.
I'm gonna run right next to my barbarian friend.
Just
There
make it a
we
little
go.
better.
That's much
Oh, that's
better.
way better.
Thank you.
Yeah, you had like
Yeah.
the fog thing enabled or something.
Yeah, I had the bleach effect overpowering it, I think.
And I will stab a skeleton with a spear.
Okay. Go for it.
Do it. Oh,
18.
nice.
Ooh.
That'll hit.
7.
7 damage. And a spear's piercing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. So, this one, having been already crushed up into bits, was not holding together well. And with one thrust of that spear, that was enough to send it scattering. And it is gone.
I don't have any movement left.
Nice.
So, yeah. I don't think I have any bonus actions.
Alright.
I do, but is an unarmed attack, which nothing is within 10 feet of me. Within 5 feet of me.
Okay. So that's your turn?
Yeah.
Next up is Helmer.
5, 10, 15, 20. Mm-hmm.
I need to remember roll my advantage.
Swing my great axe. This guy.
Alrighty, go for it.
Click on the button. 10.
10 will unfortunately not hit.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Maybe that piece of the leg that was missing goes right through the just big enough for the axe to pass through, right? So
There you go.
He's standing like he doesn't have a foot. Just swipe it where the foot used to be and doesn't hit anything. Yeah, okay.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, I'll end my turn. Just kind of.
Alrighty. Argo is up next.
All right. I move to the nearest skeleton that's alive, or dead in this case.
Well,
Can you guys hear me?
alrighty. Yep.
Okay.
Just doing that'll work.
Okay, I got a long sword right here. And not the greatest action on the planet, but I'm gonna swing.
13? Is that what I'm seeing?
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes.
That will just hit.
Oh yeah, alright.
And I set my attacks to advantage so I don't forget about it. If I don't have advantage at that point, I'll just use the first one.
Okay.
Did you see that damage roll?
I did not. Let's see. I'll refresh.
It's acting really weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, I see everything but damage for you.
There it is. It showed up twice now, so it might have just been you did it twice here. Okay, so the first one is 2 damage. Alrighty. So you're able to get a hit that connects here, chips off a little bit of bone. Alright, next up, Gregory.
All right. So, I'm just gonna just make a passive observation here. I'm not hearing any like rustling around and in my periphery, am I?
Other than from the 2 stone sarcophagi, you don't hear any more rustling. No.
That sounds perfectly fine. I'm gonna fix myself. It's 5'10". I'm gonna run into the middle of the room. I'm gonna reach my hand into my coat. I'm gonna pull out a dagger and I'm gonna throw it at the one that's still up.
Alrighty.
You have a bow?
Go for it.
You don't need it.
No, bows are awkward in close quarters, and that's where I do most of my work.
Oh, okay. So you are actually a close range person. You just
It's within
have-
20 feet.
All right. Actions. Attack. I only have unarmed attack in here. I'm not going to slow this down, so I'm just
Equip,
going to roll
equip it. Equip's not equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
okay.
Go into your inventory and hit the little square.
Check the box. Check the box.
should be a checkbox. Yep.
Sweet. All right.
Easy peasy.
Sweet. That's
26 is gonna
20.
hit. Yep.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Oh,
2d4.
crit time.
I don't know how you can crit in the. Do you have to? Yeah, you can right click and do crit damage over the damage.
Yeah.
I'm right-clicking. Nothing's happening. It's asking me to do the
Hovering over like where it says damage.
Yeah.
It should show roll as crit or flat roll.
In the actions.
actions.
Crit damage. It's already selected, so
Perfect.
I guess.
They already knew you were doing it. Yeah. Whoo!
All right,
8
and
damage.
and I do have thrown weapon mastery, so I actually do 2 more.
Is it
damage.
already applied or no? Should
I don't think it is,
Might have to go in and apply that again if you have.
because it's got 4 plus 1 plus 3. 4 is my dexterity modifier, so it's not adding it.
You had to figure. Yeah, we had to help you out with that.
So sorry,
so
you're getting that from
Feet?
thrown weapon mastery?
Yeah, thrown weapon mastery gets you +2 to the damage.
Oh, that's the like fighting style, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For range.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So that's 10 damage total.
Yes.
That's actually a pretty cool
It is cool.
You throw that knife and you see it sink into the thing's skull. You see the bones around it begin to like start to fall apart, but it's still holding itself together by a thread.
Bastard. Alright, that's my turn.
Alrighty. Next up is the skeleton's turn. He being pretty much standing up out of here.
Sound body and mind.
Let's roll.
The only one of his brothers uncrippled.
Sounder than we'd like, perhaps.
Let's see. Alright, so he is going to attack Helmer. And in order to do that, I think I can just click here. And then do this. Yeah. Nice. Alright, so a 9 to hit.
Nope. 13.
13's your AC.
13
Alright.
AC.
So he slashes out with a short sword, and you're able to dip out of the way. And that is it for the skeleton. The other one is dead. Kurt.
All right, let's put these bones back where they belong. I'll make my way up to them.
Alrighty.
Give him a wallop.
Oh, I'll give him something. I'm gonna use Word of Radiance, and I'll target only him since he's adjacent to me, and I'll Fusro die him. So, make a Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Okay.
Word of Radiance is a fun cantrip.
Got a 6. Fail.
He fails, so it's 12, so 6 damage.
6 damage.
Is
When
it
you
holy?
say that,
Yep.
he bursts, and the bones go scattering everywhere.
Nice.
Bones should stay dust.
Alrighty, and with that, we're gonna end initiative because you hear the clattering from the other 2 sarcophagi, but they cannot get through it as they currently are. So
We should probably look in the wooden one, just out of curiosity.
I didn't hear anything coming out of it. There's no reason to bother.
Dead where they lay.
Alright, I hand the box to someone else.
I'll take it if you want me to.
here we
I am
go.
carrying enough.
Exploration time.
Is this a custom item? Should I just type
Okay.
in custom item, Dungeon Master?
So it is a small wooden box. Are you opening the box, or are you trying to inspect it, or are you just adding it to your inventory?
Do we want to open it? Should I just put this in my inventory? We want to leave it closed?
Can't hurt to see what it is. I mean,
We're here for treasure, aren't we? We'll open it.
Somebody's gonna have to open it, whether it be us or someone who appraises it.
Resistance on myself, and I'll just do one of these. Just really quick.
I have your cameras off. I don't know if that's
No, it's not.
It's been off for a long time, actually.
Oh, I
No,
thought
that's on.
it's been on for me.
I can see
Can
him.
you see me?
Oh man.
Click on
No,
your
I don't.
click on
Oh,
your Discord.
there we go. There we go.
So one of these.
Yep.
Just one of these.
It's just a.
Real quick. One eye.
You open it real fast, close it real fast. You hear just the clap of it coming back closed. You manage to see the like shine of metal, but that's all you can see.
And then I just give it a little slow one. And then I look in.
Okay, yeah. So opening it, you see the box itself has a like cloth inlaid kind of padding for this item to sit on, and all it is a small needle sitting on top of it.
Now let's open it the whole way. There's a needle.
There's no trap or anything associated with it.
Just a needle. I show it to him.
a needle. For what?
Alright.
Well, our sponsor needed to mend his pants.
I do not know what this is for, but I'm adding it to my thing.
Because this is what he was after, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, you can go ahead and add just a custom item and throw.
Yeah, a box
needle.
with a needle in it. I got it.
Isn't this the treasure that we needed to find? Or
What the hell are we gonna do with the needle?
Bring it back. It's what they wanted.
Give it to our sponsor. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, I mean,
Did he say he specifically wanted the needle, or he just wanted treasure?
he wanted when it was ever at the dead end here, and this is what there was.
Well, maybe the needle goes into something else that opens up to reveal the real treasure.
did we check the wooden box?
We did
I
not.
mean, the door's open. Head on in.
Fine, I'll do it. I open the wooden box.
Just wondering if this is the treasure or the other box has it.
I open
so
open
you're
the
going in?
wooden
Okay.
Yes, I open it.
Alrighty. So, are you like kicking it open, or what are you doing?
I carefully open it.
Okay. So opening the sarcophagus.
The coffin?
Or yeah, coffin, sorry. I interchangeably am using those apparently.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was a wooden sarcophagus, it's kind of different.
Yeah.
So
So you don't have a nose, but you can smell things. The noxious odor that is kind of present when you step in here becomes overpoweringly strong as you open this box, and you see green smoke begin to waft out of the coffin. You also will see that inside this coffin there are various coins filling the entire bottom.
Oh. That's a good thing I'm immune to poison and disease.
The green gas that's coming out, you can see, is slowly spreading. You said you're immune to poison?
Actually, let me look. I have I'm sorry, I have immunity
You're
to
resistant to
disease.
poison.
Yes, I'm resistant to poison, and I have immunity to disease.
Okay, so you're going to begin the equivalent of coughing. And starting your thing in there, can you make a con save for me?
Is it resistance against potion or advantage against potion?
It says it has resistance.
Okay.
Okay, so that's half damage, correct?
yeah,
Yes.
resistance would be half damage.
Okay.
Oh,
That's not good.
Oh, you have advantage against
7?
saving
Okay.
throws and resistance.
Oh, okay. Well, let me re-roll that really quick.
yeah, you're gonna want another dice probably.
Oof.
Oh,
Okay,
worse.
so upon opening that box, this gas pouring out, you're going to take 5 points of poison damage, reduced to 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Can
Close
I-
the box.
Can I quickly take all the gold and put it in my bag?
There is too much to take that fast.
There's a lot of gold in here. Lots of gold.
You can start like grabbing stuff if you want.
Where's it coming from?
The smoke is coming from the coffin, but there's all this gold. I can't even put it all in my bag. I'm shoveling it in my bag.
If you're going to go in there, hold your breath.
Oh, can I just hold my breath? I don't have to breathe.
Okay. Holding your breath will not completely negate this. It still has this noxious fume that's kind of acidic to your like nose and the parts that you have.
Okay.
But it will help you with saving throw. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
So if you use an action to start taking coins, you can go ahead and do that, and I've got some stuff here for this. You'll get like about 9 coins on this first turn. Might be good to do a kind of roleplay initiative for this. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do this and clear this list. I'm gonna throw Argo, and then I'm just gonna artificially throw a skeleton in here, which doesn't mean anything. Anybody else nearby? I think they're gonna partake in this action.
Can I just back up as he does? He's opening it.
Yeah, you can back up. You will see that the heavy fog around that area is actually spreading.
Yes, I see that happening. Is
Mhm.
that too
It's
fast
slow
for me?
enough.
Is that too
It's
fast?
slow enough that
Okay.
you can back up.
I'm just backing my way out of this initiative.
Okay.
No,
Move
thank
away
you.
as well. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be right here if he needs us.
Alrighty. So, in the first round, you are able to get 9 coins out of it. Do you wish to continue?
Only 9 coins?
Yeah.
9 gold coins. These are gold coins, right?
You're doing this too quickly to pick and choose, unless that's something that you want to try to prioritize.
No, I'm just kind of shoveling it in my bag.
Okay. Yep. That is also a random number that I've pre-rolled, FYI.
Okay.
So are you continuing to the next round?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue.
Okay. So at the start of that round, standing in the gas, you're gonna make that con save again, but this time with advantage.
Well, I had advantage before.
Okay.
I just failed it. That's a 13 pass.
Oh, thought the 13 was the last one. No, that was the 5 and the 6. Did you roll with advantage, or is
You
that
rolled
just
a
your first
7
one?
and 6, so this is a 5.
5 and a 13
yeah,
totals.
okay.
Okay, my bad,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay, so 13, 13 will pass. You will take no damage.
Okay.
And you will gather another 13 coins.
You got this, Tin Man. Keep doing
Come
it.
on, Argo, get all that money.
We're here for you.
Thrive or die.
Do you wish to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Argo.
Go ahead and roll
Argo.
another save
Oh no.
with advantage still.
Advantage on these.
13.
13.
Alrighty. That'll save again. And then you'll get another 12.
I have a +3 to my constitution. I'm just rolling really bad. Oh no! Wait, I'm rolling this by. I'm making a massive mistake. I am
Oh, you're rolling the stat instead of the save?
Rolling the stat. I have a +5.
Okay.
It
I
still would
passed.
have hurt you in the first one.
Yeah, it
Yep.
would.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Same results. You're good.
It would. Okay, yeah, I keep going.
Yeah, click the saving throw this time. Yeah.
So go ahead and make your next one. So another that'll
18.
save.
There we go. 18 that time.
Cool.
Scooping it up.
Alright. 10, 15, 20. It is at this point that you will all notice the gas has made it to the line in front of you.
And
It is spreading
Right.
5 feet per round.
The closer it gets to me, the more back I go.
You guys want me to keep going?
You got this, Argo. You're looking good.
Hey, you do what you want to do.
You barely
Uh,
look
but
hurt.
you-
Just know that I'm not charging through this shit to save you.
Is it
But
hurt
you
you?
can.
It's corroded my senses a little bit, but it's
Are you all right?
It's fine.
All right. You just leave when it's not all right.
All right, yeah, I keep going.
Alrighty. Go for it.
Little did
Argo.
little did they know I'm resistant to 14 and a
25. Yeah, you will definitely save on that one. And then that goes there. Okay. Keeping going.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Go for it.
Oh no.
Got it.
Nice,
Alrighty.
all right, I think we're good. Yep.
Keep going.
Okay. Ooh, that's low.
What do you got? A 12?
And 12
Yeah.
and 6.
A 12 is the DC, so you
Nice.
still save.
Great.
All right, you're getting in there. You think you've got maybe 3/4 of it, maybe a little more. You gonna keep going?
One more, Argo.
I got 3/4 of it.
Keep going if you're good.
Get what you can carry.
God damn. Come on, get in there. I keep going.
Goddamn metal fingers.
Like an apple barrel. at the
That'll do it.
fair.
I got a 25.
Alrighty. You gonna keep going?
Yeah.
Oh,
At this point, it's reached the party again.
Yeah.
Back. Oh, yeah. Take it back.
Into
Step back.
the
I
hallway.
don't know how far back you want to go.
I'm just leaving this
Yeah, I'll
phone.
just leave the door. Yeah, I'm just shouting words of encouragement. From over here.
Alright.
Close the door. Just so good.
Hjalmar's gonna wait. He'll keep an eye on Argo in there
Alrighty.
from
He's
here
safe.
until he can't anymore.
Wanna make your next roll?
Uh-oh. Oh, never
At
mind.
advantage.
6
There
and
you
then
go.
22. Then 22.
Alrighty. You continuing?
Yes.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make your roll. Another 22.
It's
Okay.
pretty good. All right, yeah.
That's good.
As you look in there, there's only a few more coins left.
All right. I'm gonna keep going.
Just keep
All right.
It
shuffling.
only hurt him once. Might as well just
Go
grab it
for
all.
it.
That's
Ooh,
11.
come
Our
on.
entire profit.
22.
Hey,
There you go.
Yeah.
Grab those last
Alrighty.
coins.
All right.
You
Wow.
shovel the
That's what I
rest of the coins in there. There are no coins left in the coffin.
Digging
But
is
this
an honest
room
man's
is
job.
entirely filled with gas.
I shut the lid. What is left in the what is left in the coffin now that all the
whoops.
coins are gone?
I forgot to actually open this. What's left in there? There seems to be like a kind of a circular thing sticking up from the bottom with space underneath it that there's gas pouring out of.
Oh,
from under.
yeah, I closed the lid.
Okay. Closing the lid. It stops making it worse, but it's not gonna disperse for a while. It is a heavy gas.
All right, I use my move action to start making my way out of here.
Okay.
Dash! Get out of there!
I dash.
Oh, you didn't actually close it.
You're gonna take one more
Hey, fine.
one more tick here. So go ahead and make a save.
He's got it.
20. That's
Yeah.
20.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
you
kinda
got it.
good.
Take no more damage.
Nice.
So I update our symbol from a triangle to a square, and put 2 dashes up and 2 stars down. A dash and 2 stars on the bottom.
Nice.
Alright, Argo, good job! Who knew Metal Man could do such a good job?
Argo walks out, just absolutely like steaming with like the gas.
You smell.
Like- Dude, I turned off my sensors a long time ago.
How much did you get?
Anyway, he has like just a bag stuffed with gold.
Can we exit initiative so I can close the door?
Indeed. Exploration mode.
Thank you.
Okay.
I still can't close the door. Closing.
Do you?
No.
Oh, I think you request things. And
I
I can
request
approve it.
to close the door.
Dunzo.
Good.
Um,
No gas.
yeah, that does seem to stop the gas, which was like right there at the edge of that door. So, so
I'd request
We'll
to close
have-
the door too. Now it's being weird.
see. What if I cancel? Okay. Yeah, so it waits on me. So if you request multiple times, I have to approve or deny it multiple times.
Hello. DM.
So, Argo,
Yeah.
go ahead and add to your inventory currently, and you guys can split this if you want.
Let's
You
split it.
received 10 gold, 60 silver, and 70 copper.
Was there 5 of us?
Keep it separate. They'll want to count it.
That's true. They're gonna want to count it.
Oh,
Keep
you're
it separated.
Right.
They'll want to count it.
Yeah, put it on one.
All right.
10 gold, 60 silver, and what?
70 copper.
70 copper. Yeah. We'll split it after.
I update my little map I'm making and mark the skull and crossbones on my map, determining that there's poison in that room.
Can you repeat the amount one more time? 10 gold.
10, 60,
10
70.
gold. Yep.
10, 60.
70 copper. Just remember how much you originally had, too. That was in your
I didn't have much. I
Oh.
spent almost all mine on equipment.
Alrighty. So we are at 10:40 here. Are we
we are pretty late.
wanting to push on a little bit, or are we good to call it here?
I'm good with what the party
think
is
you-
good with.
You keep going.
I feel like what's our
Probably.
next goal? It was to get this item,
Probably
right?
this door over here.
Well, our goal was to retrieve the item and get back.
And then return. Yeah, that was what we were supposed to do. So,
But
will
we should
get
probably
points?
look at the other doors.
Will we get points docked for not doing what we're told in a timely manner? Or
I think if we're gonna go,
What-
if we're gonna take the item back, we should do that. And I think end
Well-
on that. But if we're gonna go in the other door, we should wait.
Well, what if this is not the actual treasure, and what the treasure actually is behind that door?
Well, first off, if we are operating under this very strict marking system, we have done exactly what we're supposed to do. The little worker bees that we are.
It is true.
If we deviate and go down that other door, which by the way says there is a danger there, we are deviating from what they want us to do. And since this is an evaluation, perhaps we should do as we are requested.
Well, we were requested by a separate entity besides the Adventuring Guild for this thing.
The Adventuring Guild was giving you information on where your requested item was. You do not have restrictions on where you're going.
Said not
and
to
you-
go downstairs, I think.
unless it was you found an entrance to a second level, you're not allowed to go down there yet because you haven't proven that you're ready for that.
Which is the next room that goes down, right?
No,
No,
the
we don't
room
know
across
yet.
the hall from the beginning past the spike pit goes down.
Oh, okay.
This one just had a danger and a dead end.
Well, let's go check out the danger then.
Well, as well.
Those skeletons didn't put up much of a fight.
Right.
I don't want to kill something.
Am I still going first?
Yeah.
Right.
Assuming everybody's okay with that, of course.
Here's your resistance when it comes to.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So we are continuing on that way. So at this door, you see a red square with a 1 over nothing, which you said before is a danger
That wasn't dealt with at a dead
that
end.
wasn't dealt with. Correct.
I had a triangle.
Alrighty.
Well,
Your name? Alrune? Right.
Yeah. I will look through the door.
Please, first. Yes.
So
Thank
looking
you.
down this, it looks like a hallway. You can see that the material of the floor changes from stone to what looks like rotted wood. from back here, that's about all you can tell. You can tell that wood, though, has some holes in it.
Okay. I will inch my way up towards the wood, I guess. That's up, yeah.
Okay.
Staying on the stone, though.
I'm going to move up behind him in case I need to reach out and grab.
All right, so stepping up there, you do see that like the wood itself does not look sturdy. The holes in there look like things fell through it, and then looking through the holes, you see that the underneath is lined with spikes.
Oh, do I see any valuables amongst the spikes?
Inspecting the spikes, you don't really see much down there other than you do see what looks like fresh blood on a couple of those spikes, but you don't see what left that blood there.
It was red. It was red blood, so it's probably red team. I have yellow blood. That means I'm ready to run
I
away.
bleed yellow. Love my team.
So I guess, how wide is this little path along the edge?
It's maybe a foot across. It looks like you could keep some toes on there and try to shimmy your way across, but it might be unstable in itself.
Yeah.
Would you like some rope?
I tie my rope around myself and hand a bundle of rope to Yelmar.
Shall I hold it or tie it?
Probably just hold it. I don't weigh that much. I set down my chest of a lot of food.
Before he moves, can I grab him like by the scruff of his clothes and try to lift him? Like, how heavy is he?
I set down my chest of a lot of food, and now I weigh like 45
Half
pounds.
as much.
45. I mean, I'm good. I'm considered large when carrying things, so I probably got you.
Oh, there's a chest of a lot of food sitting next to you now.
And no promises it will be there when you return.
At least let me cook things. There is some random cheeses in there if it gets packaged, though.
But it was moldy.
Oh, no, not that cheese.
I don't want that cheese.
The other cheese.
Oh, right, the other cheese. Right.
Wait, there's other cheese.
Where's the cheese?
So, I guess I will go along this side.
Alrighty.
I'm holding the rope, and I'm
Okay.
keeping it taut against him, so if he does slip more than a foot or two, I can pull on it. Keep him
Okay.
from
Is this
going any
sconce
further.
really here?
Yes.
Okay, I flip the rope up over the sconce, so if he pulls, I get lifted up instead of down.
Yeah, we're using a pulley. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Alrighty.
Alright.
So doing that, go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Please,
Okay.
please put me in the room.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I wait for I go get touched by my
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
friend first, and then I make an acrobatics
If I
check.
had my token, imagine that it's always near the person doing a thing. If I had control.
17 then.
17. You manage to shimmy your way across, no problem.
Is that stone? That looks like stone.
Yeah, it's still stone. Yep. Yeah, I am not sure what tile they use to get a gap, but it should be stone still.
Okay. So I look through the back here.
Okay. So on the doorway here, there's a red square with nothing over top of a 1 in the bottom and a star in the bottom. Let's see. I can show you. Looking into the room, you see a bit more ornately decorated room. It looks like it's a burial chamber for somebody that would be a little bit more important. There's some statues on the back wall. It's a bit of a mausoleum where you have those like inlet kind of grave that would like slide open and they'd slide bodies into on the back wall. And then there's one stone sarcophagus in the center that has a the lid has been slid over, and you kind of see, even from back here, you can see a glyph on there that was Explorer's script.
What do you see?
Alright, so it's all... everything's all marked up like it should be.
Yeah.
I quickly... Looks like it's all clear by the script. I'm gonna take a quick look around to see if they're dumb.
Right.
I go in and just take a quick look around just to see if they miss something.
And you summon vampires, apparently?
Oh,
Wow, it got really creepy in there.
Yeah, I had an effect on here that I did not remember putting here.
He
Anyway,
is blood red and angry.
It is very angry looking.
the sarcophagus in front of you has that red line over top of a star and one kind of tick mark.
Oh, am I supposed to mark where we get our treasures?
That's not something I can answer for you.
Yeah.
The Explorer's script doesn't have specific instructions on that either. It's just a guide for like what those things mean.
Oh, okay.
How often you do it is kind of more to your discretion if you think it's important.
Okay. Then I look everywhere except for where the Explorer script is.
Okay. Looking everywhere else, there's not really much to see.
Okay. Then I look in the coffin.
Okay.
Just to make
Go
sure
ahead
that
and make
it's
a
nothing.
perception check for me.
Can't help you on this one. Good luck.
7.
Man, we're
So
good at
I think-
these.
A 7. Okay. So you find there's a bit of a tripwire that was inside that sarcophagus that has been cut.
Ah.
But that is all you managed to see.
Then I'm heading back.
Alrighty.
I assume they got everything here. Because they marked that they did. When I'm here, I quickly mark that just a square, and that is all I really need to mark because I didn't grab anything.
Alrighty.
And then I make my way back along the same edge after I tied myself back up.
Right.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make that check again.
20.
That'll do it. You slide your way across just as you did before, and you're able to make it back unscathed.
That is my job in this party. I am the de facto fake rogue.
I left the food where it was. Didn't I?
Pick up my chest and reattach it to me.
Alrighty.
Cheese missing.
I don't like the cheese.
I'll untie the rope from him and hand the rope back over.
Alrighty. So back out here.
Shall we return then?
Yeah, I do believe that's everything that we could find.
Did we go check with
Without
Blue Team
going
before we go
lower.
back?
Right.
We did have a Blue Team thing going on over here, right? Sure they're okay?
I thought Blue was coming in behind.
No, red was in trouble, blue going in to save him. We're yellow team. We're just here to, I guess, clean up
Oh, I update my scripts here too. Square with nothing.
Yep.
I think we should follow instructions and head back.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
All right.
All right, let's head back.
Don't want to make Tharis mad.
Oh,
bored.
I quickly before we go, put an X on the square on our over on the other door because of the poison.
It's kind of sitting in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no doubt there's any ventilation.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I put it both next to my mark and on the door itself.
Okay.
So people don't open the door.
Sounds good.
And I update my map before we start heading out.
There you go. Alrighty. Heading back out then?
Yes.
Yep.
All the way to the entrance. Right.
As far as this goes, seems like a total success.
Can't wait to see our grade.
An A plus, as far as I consider.
Right? What's your name?
Who?
Oh, our stealthy friend who's following us.
Oh, that's Tharis.
Ah.
There is, but yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Vowels are weird.
Like corrects you out of the black. Like,
Yes,
actually.
It's Theris.
Yeah, tomato.
Hold on a sec.
No, I refuse to hold. I move.
Okay. Well, interesting. Okay. Go ahead. Where are you heading?
Back where we came from, sounds like.
Are you heading all the way back out?
That
Yep.
sounds like what we're doing.
Alrighty. That being the case, easy enough. There aren't any traps in between you guys and the entrance, so we can just fast travel you back. Upon exiting...
City's on fire.
Damn it.
Let me...
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Everyone is dead. There's blood everywhere.
That'd be fucked up. I'll be honest.
Long tutorial. Look at this amazing city. You're gonna spend all this
Yeah.
time into. They're all dead.
That's what you get when you have a Duragar praising a sun deity.
You're right. I'm the
The
one who did
wardens
it.
are wandering around killing people randomly. It's awful.
I heresy. I worship the sun. I'm supposed to worship the dark. Sorry.
Oh, okay. For a minute, I thought this music was about to get creepy. I was like, oh my god, did I call it?
No.
Everybody's murdered.
Yep. The whole town's gone.
Jacob doesn't have the guts to kill his
We
whole city.
unleashed the
The whole
green
city.
gas on the entire city.
so
Yeah.
much on.
Destroy his whole city, Spencer.
Just right now.
I wouldn't have the guts.
I-
Fuck that.
Immediately.
No way, I wouldn't do that.
I mean, that's the big play. You
That's
make
the-
it look like
make
you
it
put all that
look
work
like-
into it.
That's so funny. Found a module online and just like, yeah, you guys thought I could. That'd be wild.
Alrighty. So, upon hearing you all approach Tenla, turns around and says, "Well, I'm glad to see you all return mostly unscathed. Report."
I tell her everything
Oh.
that happened.
Skeletons. This thing. Point at the big stone. I'm assuming we're presenting it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably should.
Gold.
The box.
Oh yeah, sorry. It looked like a stone in the statue, so that's how I'm
Yep.
remembering it.
Yeah, that's why I said that. 'Cause it's not something your character would have ever have associated.
Present in
Yeah.
the box.
Need a Lana cushion.
Oh, and the pile of gold
Yeah, pile of gold.
/ silver / copper.
Big bag of gold.
Excellent. Did you find anything interesting or of note?
Where we found this is full of poison. Lots and lots of poison. I marked the door though.
No sign of the parties that were in here before,
Excellent.
aside from their markings.
But we didn't head down the left-hand tunnel, so we can go check on them if you would like.
I don't believe that would be necessary. There's only one danger in that direction, and I believe our teams have created a way over it safely for the blue team there.
Should be on the bottom shelf.
Excellent. Let me call over our...
Oh, and I present her with a map of what we went through.
Ah, excellent. She'll put that down kind of on the table and kind of compare it to the existing map that's there and says, this is very much what we have. Very detailed, though. Excellent. I'm trying to find somebody's name.
I will.
I need a better way to...
Gregory, Argo, HJ, Hammer.
not a player.
HJ.
I have about 5 minutes before I gotta go.
Okay.
Okay, Justin Hammer. Kurt Hammer.
Well, she'll call somebody over to appraise the needle in the box, and will they'll cast Identify on the item and tell you this is a tattoo item that gives a boon. This is what Silro wanted you to retrieve. So he said that he would incur the 10% cut for this item specifically. So the only thing that we need to take now is from your other gains. And
It's 1 gold,
I
6
can...
silver, 7 copper.
Yeah. So if you want to deduct that from your totals...
Yeah, take away 1 gold, 6 silver, 7 copper.
Oh, a good chunk.
How do we divide this between us?
Let's figure it out later.
Yeah.
I mean, all right.
Yep,
oh,
that is fine. Well, I'm glad to see that you made it through. Theris, do you have anything else to support or report? She kind of looks around, and you don't see Theris come back immediately.
I was trying to be like, he's dead, we got rid of him right at the beginning. I don't say that.
Don't
We
let
killed
me
Paris
watch.
with poison.
Oh no! I hope he wasn't standing in the poison.
He either choked death or
Think
he
we
fell
would've
down
heard
to the
him.
spikes. Yeah,
Yeah,
we would have known.
It's only a moment or two before he does make himself known. He is coming up the stairs after you, though, and says, well, for them, they are very thorough. They may have a misunderstanding of Explorer's Grit, but it was providing more information than needed is the only thing. So, overall, a great grade on that. They've been very honest with you, presented everything they've found, and were very thorough and cautious. I believe they will make an excellent addition to the expedition.
Oh, shucks, Theris, you shouldn't have. Let's give me a little pat on the back.
However, I do have something that might be great for our other teams. They may have missed it, but it was hard to spot. I believe there's a second entrance to the second level. And Tenla looks up, kind of startled. You think this takes it down to the second level? And he says, I believe so. I only went down a short ways, that's why I was a little late. But they, it seems to be outputting into the prison. She kind of shuffles some maps. She says, yeah, that's That is the second level. And then she kind of snaps into a very commanding tone, and you see she asks a nearby person that's kind of playing cards at a table, Garrick, is your team ready to go? And you see this kind of tiefling fellow kind of look up and say, yeah, there a way we can help. You're now designated orange team. Yellow team found us, or not yellow team. We found a second entrance to the second floor. You're to enter the entrance, rendezvous with red team at the collapse, and lead them back through the second entrance. Once you're back, also inform blue team and have everyone proceed back through. This iteration ends in a night and a half. Keep an eye on your glyphs if you need that much time. And I am ordering you to come back if you run low on time. I can't afford to lose 2 squads. And you see this team just kind of springs into action, start gathering their gear, and heading in where you had just come from.
Yeah, good luck. And then you smack one of them and give them guidance.
For 1 minute.
He's gonna need it.
Run
I'll take
fast.
And they are proceeding quickly down that hallway. As for you all, I appreciate the thorough report. You are free to do whatever it is else that you need to do, and take this back to Saru. They hand back the needle.
I asked our invisible follower where we missed it.
Oh, just your
Oh no, the tunnel down.
the sarcophagus you looked in that room with the broken tripwire had another pressure plate.
My fault.
Don't hold it on you. You're fine.
It's very difficult to spot. There were 7 people through here.
If I was there in guidance, you'd be fine.
Oh, and I asked for a more detailed version of how the script is supposed to work, since I was overdoing it apparently.
Our resident script master, please do it.
Script master.
I do not know how.
The only error you made was in adding additional squares where other teams have been. You normally add to the other teams if you find additional things. Don't add your own symbol unless you are actively in that place. But beyond that, it was fine.
A plus, I consider it. Yeah.
Right.
And so we can call it there. Thank you for staying a little over. I appreciate the game. It was fun.
Thank you for joining us over on YouTube. We'll see you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Let's do